Oh.
All right. Now, I think after last session, we should just get straight into this, shall we, and see what you want to do. Ah, yes. Let us begin the weather.
Very good.
Everybody loves
The
the
most
weather.
pressing matters. What is the weather
Yes.
doing?
The
Yeah,
weather, in fact. Oh, it's like I've heard this already. I'm gone.
Yeah, whenever I'm here, the weather doesn't get better.
No, you're correct there. The weather does proceed to get slightly worse.
Of course it does.
So, we are back with all of them today. The still officially unnamed party of adventurers: Cat, Kay, Curve, Romulus, and Vinny. Last time, this troop went about concluding their shopping and ventured forth to locate and find their target, the Skull Bandits, who had been terrorizing the east-west trade road from Canlis to Farganuk. Heading westward along the Traders' Road, the party camped at the campsite there, where, just before the sun rose, they were beset by a group of dwarven individuals along with two hulking demonic forms. After an intense battle in which Cat got overwhelmed by her arm's ferocity, the party gathered their single knocked-out target and now decide the next course of their actions. With the sun now beginning to rise across the otherwise clouded and still relatively dark morning, the early mists still set about, the rain still falling relatively gently, but the wind beginning to pick up a little bit more than it did the day before, bringing in those cold frontiers from the south. You otherwise have an interrupted long rest, and it's at this time that you can choose your next course of action. But you will catch your breath. You can see the bodies of the three dwarves that are nearby beginning to melt in the rain as what looks to be their black blood is mixing with the mud and grass around. You see the large hulking form of the pig-headed demon laying still and slowly smokes despite the rain. Corsair looks at all of you and otherwise asks, "What do we do now, then?" I'll say Curve and Vinny, you rejoin the party at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm tired for one thing. But we
Why
also
don't
need
we
to
finish
talk
off
to.
the last one?
I assume you're saving him for some reason?
It seemed she wanted to talk to him.
Yeah.
Pointing the
Okay.
cat.
Okay, go ahead and make me that investigation check, by the way, for thoroughly checking him to see what it is.
I would
or do
like
you-
to assist with
actually-
this.
Actually, I'm going to roll it with advantage, and Romulus, you're providing assistance here.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, please just tell me your modifier.
My-
My modifier?
Yep, for investigation.
It's a +5.
You're fairly certain, looking over his whole body, you find a dagger that he had. You find what looks to be a few bits of coin on him, kind of few sections of what look to be small ingredients of some form of component pouch. But other than that, there's not really much on this individual.
I'm taking a component pouch away from him.
Okay.
I know that happens with magics. Romulus, can I use your rope to tie them up? So they
Sure
can't
thing.
do anything?
Which of my many ropes would you like to use?
The shorter one.
All right, we'll go for the average rope. That would be 50 feet of your finest hempen rope.
Okay.
Oh, I can
Wrapping
do
them
all
up-
kinds of things.
Wrapping them up thoroughly in this instance, I'll say.
Mortified.
So we're just going to wrap up a dwarf. What's the plan from here?
Oh,
Cut
Uh,
off
well-
his fingers.
we have someone to talk to. we can find out some information potentially.
Cat, you should be lying down.
Mm. Yeah, I'm subtly while talking, looking down. Is my arm back to normal, or is there's still a mouth and an eye?
There's still a mouth on your palm and an eye on the back of your hand,
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
Corsair looks at you, Curve, and goes, "Is everything okay at home? Why do you want to cut off a finger? Or fingers?"
I'll slice off his ankle so he can't run away.
Or you don't have to slice off the ankles, you just need to cut the tendon.
I know what I meant.
I'm just trying to help.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Now, we need to ask this. I didn't want to be harsh and say dickhead, because, probably just been brainwashed by a cult. But, yes, we need to ask this dickhead exactly what his people have against our cat here.
People aren't people, they're monsters. She mutters to herself. She goes over and gets Jeff. Stands there for a minute.
I'd be interested to know why they can cast the same spells we can.
Who's we?
Me and Curve. It was darkness they were using to cut out the light in Hellish Rebuke, even the ones that didn't look like casters.
Oh, and I couldn't make noise for a while.
I was wondering what was going on there when... After waking up Kay.
It's a smart ambush. I'm not surprised they've been destroying the trade so effectively.
Well, not smart enough.
It's a very good thing that we've kept this one alive, if only so that we can make sure there aren't any more. In order to keep this entire stretch of road covered, they might have been working in shifts and have more individuals.
Probably. They're going to realize their first group hasn't reported back eventually. At least they didn't get away. That would have been a bigger problem.
So are we doing the interrogating now?
Well, the longer we leave him, the more likely he is to try something.
He's also unconscious, I will say.
But he'll be up eventually.
Okay. While I'm collecting Jeff, I'm going to ask, can it understand me? Can it talk?
Oh, what, to Jeff?
No. My arm.
Oh, you're going to ask the arm, can it understand you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You get no reply. It's inconclusive.
Okay.
And we can all see the arm?
No, I'm tucked.
She's walked off to go and deal with Jeff, who's currently just lying on his side snoozing.
Okay.
I am gonna go in the tent and wrap it up.
Okay. Going back in the tent. Okay, going back in the tent. You take some time to wrap up your arm before the exiting. So you're all just going to stand around a dwarf until he wakes up?
What do
I
you
mean,
suggest?
could do.
Yeah, this was more DM asking rather than you.
Oh,
Of course,
I was ready to sass him so hard.
what do you suggest, voice in the sky?
It's
Well,
so,
you know.
as I come over, how am I reacting? Because previously, I was trying to break this guy's neck under my not own control.
There's more control there. You don't feel a sudden like urge or lurch of movement. The arm is back to being more passive.
Okay, all right. Shall I wake him up?
If you're having strange urges, well, first of all, I'm afraid we will need to have the talk finally. But further to that, I think it would probably be best if one of us wakes him up. Is that all right with you?
I can wake him up. He's just needs a little bit of healing. He'll be fine, right?
Probably.
Cool.
Curve goes to slap him.
That's not going to help. Before
Cur-
Curve
Cur-
slaps
Curve-
him, I'm going to
He
cast some homing
pick
blade
up.
with the hill rune.
Okay. Cast Tone Blade with the Hill Rune. Roll your d4 plus 1. And Curve. In this instance, if... I see what Jamie rolls first.
Oh,
Okay,
so that's going to be
that is a
1 point
1.
healing.
No, 2, because it's d4 plus 1, isn't
Yeah,
it?
but it's half because heal, not shield.
Oh, that's right. As you watch as Curve, otherwise, or not Curve, as Cat otherwise shoots an otherwise bolt of healing at the dwarf, who kind of rears his head. Curve slaps him for 2 damage, and he falls unconscious again.
No, I think he's dead.
You didn't slap him that hard.
Yeah, I did.
If Romulus had done it, I might have made an exemption. But you've only got a +1 to your strength.
What are you trying to say, voice in the sky?
1. Okay, I will
Yeah.
attempt that again then.
Okay.
Yeah, I will be physically like shoving Curve out of the way if they try something again.
Okay.
That's
Okay. 2, because it's rounded
Yeah.
down still. So, go ahead and roll me, because you're below half, go ahead and roll me 2 wild magic checks just to see if you explode and kill him anyway.
Oh, okay.
Kill him. Kill him.
4.
Nope. Because these are
17.
cantrips, aren't they? So it
Yeah.
only triggers on 1, so
Yeah.
you're fine. Okay. So, using the heal rune once again, spending either the points or the resources to do so, you shoot another healing bolt into the dwarf, who otherwise kind of looks up, slightly bleary-eyed, but is currently tied up, very much so.
Morning, sleepyhead.
He says nothing.
I'm going to speak in Dwarvish.
Um,
You'd best start talking. Otherwise, things are going to get... And I'm going to flex my muscles a little bit. Unpleasant.
The dwarf is going to make an attack against you with disadvantage.
How?
As with a natural 1, he almost chokes on his own spit as he attempts to spit at you. But you see, there's kind of this moment where he just kind of goes to lob a section of spit at you before you watch as he kind of just coughs, and there's a little bit of blood, kind of black blood gets caught in his throat, and coughs it up before looking up at you, kind of gritted teeth forming a very nasty grimace, the black blood otherwise coating the already slightly yellowish teeth.
Could I have attempted...
Over my dead body?
No.
I ain't telling you nothing.
Well, don't worry. It won't be over your dead body. Because I'm going to make sure that you live a very long and unpleasant life. If you don't tell me exactly what I want to know. I am going to... yeah, let's go for that. I'm going to try and intimidate him by taking one of my many weapons. Let's go with let's just go with a hand axe. Keep it simple to start with.
Classy.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And
Mhm.
I'm just going to slam it down blade right next to his ear, so it embeds itself into the ground.
Make me an attack roll.
If I roll
in
low
this-
on this, am I going to hit him?
I will say, in this instance, if you roll low, you won't get your desired effect. You roll accurate, you'll get what you want. If you roll too high but don't crit, you will. Actually, no. Let's just make it this. If you roll a natural 1, you have advantage because he's prone. If you roll a natural 1, so 2 natural 1s, you will kill him outright by making a miss slam.
Yeah.
Roll too low overall, and you will just have not a desired effect.
Okay, well, with a hand axe, that's like a
Yeah.
20.
Taking a swing down, as you otherwise swing the hand axe down next to him, there isn't a moment of panic. He doesn't flinch in this instance. You may go ahead and roll me an intimidation check, just to
Okay, so
do
that's
so anyway. But,
my
yeah.
intimidation
You
is
can use your strength because you have because
So
of
that
the
should be a
mantle.
+8 to this.
Okay.
Oh, come on, big money, big money, big money. We want to scare. Oh, it's only a 15.
15? Yeah, doesn't seem to be intimidated at all by the threat of violence or hurt in this instance.
Well, actually, I shouldn't say that. It's not in character. But my instinct is now just tickle him. If he doesn't like pain, if he doesn't mind pain, I think we should just tickle him.
I'm gonna cast comprehend languages and then gonna detect thoughts him. Cat's going digging.
I will say I don't think you have to. You don't have to comprehend languages to detect thoughts. You can just detect thoughts.
Okay.
No, detect
There's
thoughts is just
no
universal. It's just if
benefit.
he
Oh, right.
then
Oh,
says
then
anything in Dwarvish or another language, you can't understand him.
Okay,
And
I'm going to
I can just
detect thoughts and
translate.
start digging in that brain.
Okay, so you're not casting comprehend languages. You're just casting
Yeah,
detect
if I
thoughts.
don't need to detect thoughts,
Okay.
I'll just.
So go ahead and roll me wild magic. Again, this is with a +1. So your DC is 3 here because you removed your rune charging for this.
Yeah, but
Oh,
it's
you'll
done through
you'll
Cytania.
cast. In which case, then you just roll with the DC of 2 because it still applies for the wild magic, but it's just not as intense because it's more under control. So yep, all good. So detect thoughts. Okay, you initially learn any surface thoughts about the individual, and then you may probe deeper. Doing so will prompt a wisdom saving throw. Okay, noted. As you kind of check the surface thoughts are strange. There's very few of them. It's more of like a white noise and static as they're looking around, but you begin to hear or understand and detect the thoughts being centaur with the arm of a demon, minotaur, long horns, wearing a shawl. He's going through all of your general descriptions.
Cute. I am. I'll keep it up
deeper?
for a little while Romulus does his thing. Before it ends, I will be digging deep.
Okay, so before it ends, you have a minute then. So.
Look, I just want to know why you attacked us and why you are so. Why you had that reaction to Cat here. Why? Why any of this?
Otherwise grins. Kat, I'm actually going to ask you, could you please make me a stealth check when casting this? Because it does have verbal and somatic components, there's a chance that he will be able to know that you have cast some form of a spell here.
Does it if I'm casting it through Cytania? It's one of her.
No, that's true, yeah, because it'll be Cytania's spell, so yeah, no, never mind on that then. It'll only be if you did the comprehend languages. Okay. So, as you ask those questions, Romulus, the surface thoughts are continuing with the descriptions. A focus on taking in your descriptions. A red tiefling wearing blue and white. A purple tiefling carrying a scythe. a dragon or a draconian, unknown skin scale color, and just goes through all of you, one after another.
Oh, this information is being sent somewhere. Okay.
Okay, I'm digging deeper to see if this is... Because I'm fully aware that them minds were connected before, because I heard a lot of them. So I am going to dig deeper.
Okay. Wisdom saving throw on their part. What's your DC?
16.
That is a 14. As you dig deeper, it's not necessarily that all of their minds are connected, but as you otherwise enter into the mind of this individual and begin to see and hear what that is they're thinking about, you feel multiple presences within his mind. All of them staring back at you as you enter, and there's a sudden, almost pain there as you look around, seeing cracks across this individual's mind, almost like a madness. And as you do, you feel all the eyes focus on you, and the rest of you watch as the dwarf's head suddenly turns and looks at Cat. As this happens, the dwarf otherwise begins to shout out in a language which I don't think any of you understand. If you would like to read off your languages, for those of you who have any that they might think they know.
What do I actually know?
Probably not infernal.
No, not infernal, not common.
I've got Celestial Giant.
Nope. Romulus has Dwarvish, which is this language isn't.
Yes, I'm afraid I decided against picking up the college course in Abyssal. I do know Sylvan.
Okay. No, Sylvan it's not. Okay.
I only know common and thief.
Okay. So in this instance, no, the rest of you don't understand what's being said. As Cat, you suddenly feel uneasy as your arm almost begins to shake. As whatever is getting shouted is mimicked tenfold from this individual's mind as you probe deeper.
Okay.
As you, I will say, go ahead and roll me a charisma saving throw here.
Let's go. What's my charisma save? Overlay. Oh, well, it's not Rooks, so that's something, I guess.
As you're otherwise trying to focus on this, your concentration shatters in that instance. The detect thoughts pulling you out, and you watch as the dwarf is otherwise staring up at you, his eyes locked with yours, as his eyes go an inky black and begin to almost bleed. A wide grin appearing across his face.
I want to slap him again.
Don't slap the... Well, maybe slap the... I don't know anymore.
I'm backing up.
Cat,
Do any
what's
of you
going on?
stop Curve from slapping him?
I'm going to get in the way because I said that I would last time.
Okay.
And I don't have the context of what's going on with Cat. And neither does Curve, frankly, but alright.
I don't like his smile.
Out of curiosity, do I get any kind of like uneasy feeling about what's going on with him?
Strangely, no. You feel strangely content. Nothing's odd about it.
I see.
Cat, you okay?
Yeah. I don't know. I gotta look at Sychania. Can we seal this?
Sychania looks at you oddly.
Well, apparently you can stop the creature. I'm assuming this is the same thing. Or is it a last resort?
Sychania awaits your command.
Alright. I am gonna go behind him and I'm gonna let Sychenia wrap herself around him. See what she does.
Okay. Stepping behind as Sychania wraps around the individual around the neck, you feel a sudden pulse from your arm as if it's been set free for a moment. In this instance, you feel an aggressive urge to silence, snuff, and destroy this dwarven individual. You, Jamie, as the player, can decide whether this urge overtakes you or not.
Oh,
You can roll if you wish.
I
There will be a flat DC 10 versus, DC 10/11 on just a regular D20 roll, or you can decide if you would like.
I will stick with what I've always done in things like this. I will roll.
Okay, go ahead. 3. In that moment, the rest of you watch as Sychania wraps around the individual Cats, and you watch as the where she had freshly bandaged it, you watch as the bandages begin to split, the arm pulsing as it grabs the back of the individual's head, and you watch in this absurd feat of strength squeezes and crushes the top and back half of the dwarf's skull before pulling it back. You watch as Cat kind of freezes in place as Sychania whips back around the arm, controlling it once again. The dwarf is now dead.
No fair. Why does the kid get to kill him?
That wasn't meant to happen.
He was sick though.
Okay, what did just happen?
I don't know.
So, what did we see happen there?
You watched as Cat walked behind the individual, Sychania kind of moved towards the individual and began to wrap around them, and you watched as kind of this faint glow of magic happened. And in an eye blink, before any of you could react, Cat's arm shot forward, growing in size, grabbed the back of the dwarf's head, crushed it, and then pulled back as the Sychania then swung back and bound the arm in that moment, before it could do any further harm to either Cat, any of you, or the dwarf. But the dwarf's head, other than the face, has been crushed and is gone.
So that feels like the kind of thing a cloud rune could have done something about.
Whose skull do you wish to target with such an attack?
Oh, jeez.
Is Millicent bystander still nearby?
This is how we
No,
end
Millicent
Corsair.
Price.
Gone.
Corsair. Is this how we get him?
Still here. Oh. I'm just saying. Did we ever reach a consensus about whether murdering Corsair was on the table?
We didn't know.
No.
I don't think it was actually on the table.
I think it was-
Okay.
I'll say this, Ramis. If you want to try and do the cloud rune, in this instance, in the panic, you're going to have to aim at one of your party members. I'm not going to tell you what you're going to have to try and beat in order to make this happen, and I'm not going to tell you what kind of effect or damage this is going to do.
I don't care that much. Besides, knowing Cat, probably gonna get hit by something within the next 30 seconds anyhow.
Not that bad. Fireball us all.
Erase all evidence.
Make sure it's dead.
Yeah, the dwarf slumps to the
No.
ground, black blood spilling over the ground before you and soaking into the rope.
Well, now that that's taken care of, I would like to try and rest. I'll
You would
let
like to
guys
try?
I would like to try and rest. I'm saying this to the party. I would like to try and rest again. I'll let you guys decide, but first I'm gonna see if that's worth it to go around. And then I'm gonna go to the dwarf's cart and kind of like stand on it and yell out and saying that they're dead, so you can come out if you're still around.
Go ahead and make me a Constitution check. We'll see if you can meet the individual's perception if they happen to be nearby.
Oh, come on.
You
Like-
you shout out, but the wind and the rain getting heavier is It is making it difficult.
I mean, that's fine with me. I get to find out what he's got in here. While they're deciding.
You're gonna look over the cart.
I mean, yeah.
Looking
I
over the
mean,
cart.
it might make him come out if he sees me do it, so.
Yeah. Looking over the cart, do you see what looks to be fresh medical supplies and fruit and veg? This individual is carrying what looks to be general supplies for a populace that's been through hardship.
Well, I'll be keeping an eye on the cart, so if
Yeah.
he does come back, if not, I'm gonna be keeping the cart and horse. But we'll deliver this stuff.
We're planning to rest here, right?
Maybe not right here, because do I know about the brain connections?
You have no idea. I mean, there wasn't necessarily brain connections. It was just the demonic creatures were very protective of the people who they were there to protect.
Well, because we were attacked here, and I do already think that there are probably more than just these people who we encountered doing this. We should probably not be here precisely. I am tired, but I would rather not be come across by any other ne'er-do-well.
We can travel a little ways, get off road, and then rest there. It'd be less ideal than the campsite, but
True. However, you do note as you look around in all directions, it is heathland, and there's nowhere to hide, no cover, no nothing. There's maybe the occasional shrub, sometimes a tree, but other than that, not really anywhere to really hide.
If we want to back off, the best place to do would be either back to town or the next stop over, and that's quite a big setback. I would say that we try and rest here, but I don't know. I don't know. What are other people thinking?
Maybe we should just stay here. Maybe. It'll be good.
Should we sleep here? And then if they do come back, we'll just kick their asses again.
I think that's the only real option. If we sleep now, we buy ourselves as much time as possible to finish resting and get out of here. Is everyone okay with that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Okay.
All right.
So finishing your long rest here. So, same watches as before?
I'm afraid I can't remember what the watches were before.
I've still got them noted down, don't worry.
Okay.
No.
Just for simplicity, or do you want to swap out?
Cat would like to rest with Romulus, watch with Romulus.
Okay. So we will have Cat and Romulus last, and then Curve and Vinny at the top.
Okay.
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 All right.
Okay then. As you each get back to rest to try and sleep up, Curve and Vinny, the two of you are sat on watch. The rain is otherwise coming down a little bit heavier than before. The cold wind blowing in, beginning to almost bite into you at this point, as it is turning into a little bit more of a harsher time. But you've got what shelter you have. After about half an hour or so, as you're otherwise keeping watch, you note the dwarven individual comes back and gets onto the back of his car and very bleary-eyed kind of just nods to each of you and snaps the reins and continues on the way.
Oh, so he wakes me up because I went to sleep or he went to sleep.
Oh, so you're underneath the cart?
Yeah, I said I was keeping an eye on the cart for him.
Oh, okay. So, in which case you are woken up from your long rest.
Someone
Look,
doesn't want a long rest.
Yeah, it's only halfway in, thankfully, so it's not going to penalize you by any means. But it's it's one of those things you are woken up during the other party's rest, as the dwarven individual takes off. You're left there, kind of lying on the ground, the cold and wet striking you as you wake up and then crawl into a tent.
I just had to make sure it was known that I was actually watching the cart. Because I said I was doing it.
Yeah. The dwarf otherwise heads off with the cargo, moving on to the on his way towards Fargonek, by the looks of it. Okay. Anything you'd like to do during your watch, or should we swiftly move through it?
I think. Do we need to talk, Cat?
Okay. I'll say we skip past
I think that's
Corsair and
probably fine.
Kay's, Curve and Vinny's, because it's eventless during that time.
Mhm.
Moving on to Romulus and Cat, as that's when the random encounter roll is anyway. So I would like one of you two to go ahead and roll me 2d12, and then
I don't have
both of you to make new perception checks.
I got 2d12, I'll roll it.
Do it.
Okay.
Do it.
It's 10 and a 12, so I hope that wasn't the number of dwarfs that come to murder us.
Hey, nice. Can't wait. More of them. We don't have to
Ah,
raid their
yes.
camp. They're just raiding ours.
Yep. They're just coming to you.
When we die,
Okay.
I want it known that I did mention this as a possibility.
So 10 and 12, so 22.
Yeah. It's not a great number, is it?
22 out of 24.
22 is nice and high. Go ahead and roll. Which one do I need for this? Is it
D100
D10?
For how many you're going to have to encounter?
D10, please. Nope. Hold on.
Yes, no, maybe.
Question mark?
Nope, that's the wrong one. This is the one I need here. Go ahead and roll me a D10 and a D12, please.
That is an intriguing mixture you got there.
Please get a 10 and a 12.
Don't tempt me. 10 and a 7. There was a 10 on the D10 and a 7 on the D12.
You made an effort, and I'll salute you for that.
10 and a 7? Okay. Go ahead and have a conversation.
Don't say go ahead. That doesn't help.
Go for it.
Yeah, so, Romulus?
Mm.
Them creatures are me. Well, this gestures to self.
When you say creature, do you mean the weird arm thing? Because I kind of got that they were in.
Yeah, they're very much that. And I don't know why, but it seems to hate them.
Okay.
I tried talking to it, it didn't respond.
One moment. Cychania, can you, you can understand me, yes?
Sogenia nods.
Do you have any idea why they, pointing at Cat's arm, hate the cultist?
Sogenia shakes her head.
Right. Is there any way you could ask? Because I suspect you are involved in their whole deal.
Me?
So
I know I'm
Chania,
still talking to Saichenia.
yeah. So Chania at this instance otherwise gestures to Cat's palm, but then otherwise shakes her head.
Oh, right, there's a fucking mouth, isn't that right? I'm going to very clearly enunciate my words towards the eyeball, I guess. Hello there. Could you please tell us why you hate the cultists? We're not judging you, we're just looking for information. And I make sure to make sure my mouth is moving as clearly as possible.
Possible. The arm/mouth doesn't react at all.
Worth a fucking try.
I'm kind of glad it doesn't talk.
Ooh, what if we try and give it something to eat?
I did. I feed it one of the little black things. It went horribly.
One of the little black things?
Yeah.
The
little
inklings that attacked you during the combat.
The things. That
I meant
resemble
like
it.
food, cat.
Oh.
Right,
What
okay.
is
I'm,
food?
It ate
I'm gonna
it.
I'm going to pull out one of my little tasty treats. Because, you know, I didn't use them last time, so I might as well. Would you do the honors? I feel like if I put it in there, it's going to bite me.
If in mind, Cat is very much on the end of her tether at the moment with the fact that this has a mouth and an eye.
Come on, cat, get on with it.
I'm gonna just shove whatever in its mouth. Just
Okay. Shoving a small Eccles cake into the mouth of your arm. You otherwise feed it the Eccles cake. You gain 3 temporary hit points.
Oh, that's so much more unpleasant than something else happening.
I need that.
Oh,
I want
God.
that.
I'm encouraged to eat everything. I am just a mini, large K. Oh no. Oh, yeah. They are this. This is them, and this is a problem, and I don't know how to deal
Right.
with it, and I don't like it. And now it has an eye, and a mouth, and the Kraken's worse.
Right.
Just so
Right.
you know, a lot worse.
Well,
Yeah.
it
Let's
seems
say
that
what you would have. Oh, yeah. Just to clarify on the cracking, what you would have seen, Romulus. There are 2 distinct cracks running up the top of the arm and the base of the arm, leading up and into Cat's shirt.
understood. Not a great situation to be in, but you know we make do. Right. Well, we now know that whatever this is, it is. I think demon related. I can't say for certain because you know couldn't really understand it, but I got the idea that some in our party can understand devilish things, but that seemed more demon-y. So, what that means is, all being well, we should be able to. I think if we go somewhere with holy people, they might have some idea how to fix this.
True, or I'll just burst into flames.
Well, I would like to imagine that bursting into flames is one of the less likely options.
Fair.
And I'm sure if something like that will happen, Saichenia would warn us. Wouldn't you, Saichenia?
So Chania shrugs / nods.
Okay, so you'll try your best. Got it. Right. I don't really see another option.
You know,
We need people who know about this. Whatever this is.
well, I think the problem is not very many people, if anyone, know about this. I think the only people that potentially could know, as much as I hate to say it,
We're not. Okay, if you're referring to the cult people,
no,
that's a bad move.
no.
Oh, wait, no, your family?
Mm.
Oh, dear.
And that's not something I want to approach at the moment.
All right. Did you say that as I understand it, your situation is that there are a large number of different voices or people or whatever going on in all this. Is that right?
There's a lot of souls.
A
Yeah.
lot of souls. Chris, correct me if I'm wrong. I know one person who knows a lot about souls and necromancy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is there any way I could contact that person?
Outside of telling Kat who it is when she has the sending spell.
Does Cat have the sending spell?
Nope. Trying to get it.
Not currently.
Trying to get it.
It's a work in progress.
Okay. Because this isn't something I can, like, we can't just hire someone to send a message for this, because that would be a lot.
This is true.
Right.
If it's who I think it is, yes, that will cost a lot.
Just as a sidebar, the wife of a
Yes.
certain individual. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Romulus is
wife?
going to put out. Yeah, Romulus is putting out a call
Your
to his old
wife.
drinking buddy. Jesus.
Ah, very good.
You've finally, you've discovered my true identity. It's me, Judas. All right. If we can find a way to send messages over long distances discreetly, so God, what's it called? It's like message, but better.
The
Sending, yes. If we can find a way to get a hold of that, in one of our party members, someone who's safe, then I might have an idea on who we could talk to.
Okay, well, I'm hoping to get it at the wizard thing that's going to be happening.
I mean, that would be good also, but if we've not got it, if we can get this sorted, if we can get a hold of it, I have an idea. Yes.
Okay.
I don't. It might also afford some protection from your family.
Okay. The here and now, though, we're gonna
For the
have
here-
to kill all of these guys.
Okay.
If any are left, it'll just keep spreading.
Hmm. I'll be honest. It kind of does feel like you. And I hate to say this. Do you think you'll be able to? Do you think it's you that wants to do the killing of them, or do you think it's them?
To be honest with you, I want to think it's me because I don't want this thing out in the world.
Hmm.
After seeing what happens, I don't know. I don't like killing, but all of them. I just don't
Do you
know.
think? Do you think it's possible that the reason the souls inside you? Do you think that's the reason that they hate these cultists so much is because these cultists are related to their production?
I genuinely couldn't even begin to work it out. I don't know if maybe they're inferior. It's trying to get stronger. I don't know. I know at some point some of it's got free, and here they are, gesturing to the pile, which I think we should burn, by the way. I really don't think we should just leave bodies, especially with this nature around. What if a rat comes along and eats them, and then we've got the whole rat god situation again?
Right.
I've already caused one plague. I don't think I need to cause a second.
Well, we don't know that that was 100%.
True. But
There was a lot. There was a lot of other weird shit going on.
Fair. But I do think
All
we
right.
should burn these.
All right. I'll Well, we may still be on watch, but there's no saying I can't move around a little. They're not that heavy. I'm just going to start piling the bodies up.
There are no bodies.
What?
As you otherwise look back at them, they have melted away into thin piles of sludge. Specklings of ash mixed in.
That's horrible.
Yeah, they started melting last night, and during the first and second watch, you watched as they slowly went from being formed bodies to sludge on the floor. They have now become what could be described as mud puddles.
Okay, I'm going to try and burn the sludge.
I'm gonna try and scoop some into my last vial. Oof.
Oh, oh, that's gross. I get it, but ugh.
Tell me about it. Try living with it.
Well, to be fair, I think they're a lot less pleasant than you are, so, you know.
Cool. If I grow a pig head,
Hmm.
just kill me.
I'm not going to do that. Some pigs are quite adorable. Have you ever seen a teacup pig?
Yeah, but that was horrifying.
Teacup pig.
And
Yes.
no.
Essentially, you take a baby piglet and you hollow it out, and you wrap that around.
This cat was expecting some form of comfort or something cute. Romulus goes on his escapade. Just a look of pure horror.
And
Okay.
and if you set it up right, you can use the snout as a tea kettle.
Teacup pig.
Yes.
Okay. So
They are
as
adorable.
as you conclude your watch, all of you benefit from a long rest, regaining hit points and such as you would, without issue, it seems.
Thank God for that.
Ah, finally. I'm back to 69 hit points.
How long do my temp hit points
Nice.
last for? Well, they've gone now.
They disappear now. Yeah,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
All right, so we killed a lot of people.
Yeah, at this point, the rest of you are getting up. Romulus has been preparing breakfast for a little bit with what little fire you're able to make from heathland shrub and stuff.
Happy.
I think the word people was used lightly there, but yes.
Now, they may well have been people at one point. Now they are dead. And that's okay, because fuck them. Now,
So you think they were normal dwarves and then they turned into dwarf tieflings and then goo?
well, I think it's more likely than them being tieflings that turned into dwarves. Because where would the dwarf have come in there?
It's a good point.
Hmm.
You've got me there.
Well, so would that even be called a dweefling? A dwarf?
Okay, back.
Sure.
A dwevel-blooded individual.
Oh,
Or could it be dweeman blooded?
A dwevel blooded.
Oh right, yeah, we can't say that anyway. Sorry. A
Please,
dweendish.
Mr. Asmodeus.
Oh, whoa.
oh,
oh, please, Mr. Asmodeus. I just wanted
we don't need to go
unlimited
down this
power.
We don't have to go down this route.
Oh.
We can stop at any time, I
I
swear.
just want an eldritch blast.
I only sold my soul so I could do a heavy crossbow's worth of damage.
Alright, I'm giving inspiration to the boss.
This is fair.
Alright, where's this boss? I'm making sure to mark.
Okay,
Has
but only if
inspiration.
you change the boss's name to Mr. Obama.
No. No, because that will ruin all of the canon around this boss.
Oh, but can you imagine the satisfaction of saying, then perish?
I might still do that. I'm just
Yeah.
not going to do that now.
I've just gotten back. We're not fighting a boss, are we?
No, you're fighting Obama.
Despair. Okay. Well, I mean,
I need to capitalize the O. Right.
Gotta go north from here, I guess.
Sure.
Let's go.
Okay.
Oh, just before we set off,
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Kat, I assume you were talking to Romulus last night.
Mm.
I don't want to get in the middle of whatever's going on with you two. I would like an explanation at some point, because this doesn't feel like the first time this has come up. But I don't want to push you to talk about something that's going to be uncomfortable.
Okay.
All I want to say is, when we get to where we're going, there are going to be more of these people. Are you going to be okay with that?
After my talk with Romulus, I don't know. My personal preference is I think we should kill them all. There is a reason for it, but we have company at the moment.
Okay, well, killing them all is one thing. Putting yourself in danger to do it is another.
Yeah.
We will go about this slowly, methodically, and carefully,
Mm-hmm.
which I know is alien to most of us.
Ugh.
Absolutely, but
I agree. There's
The audible from the background.
I agree. Realistically, if I go down, it could make a lot of this worse. I just need to play it calm. And oh, look at Cychania. If it gets too much, you can help calm. Please do.
Virginia otherwise nods.
Okay, I'm gonna put my trust in all of you. If you think something's off, don't hesitate to say.
Should we cut off your arm?
Okay, I'm just
It's
going
been
to say.
tried, it won't work. Well,
Really?
cutting has been tried.
wait,
what
I
about-
need to stress to you that if you try to cut off Cat's arm, regardless of the circumstance, I will then proceed to cut off your arm.
What if she's been bit by a zombie?
Alright, in a hypothetical zombie situation where we lived in a world that didn't have non-transferable zombie virus, then sure.
honestly, if the zombie bites that arm, I'm more worried about the zombie.
Yes,
I am more
honestly.
concerned about this biting a zombie, in fairness. It likes to eat, so I've worked out last night.
When the zombies should be afraid of the party instead of the other way around. Okay. So, what is the plan of action here then?
Well,
Cool.
the plan was go east and then go north. Took a little longer than intended, but we have gone east now.
Okay. So you're going to be going north? Okay.
Yeah.
Given that you are partway through the day, you can either choose to travel through the night or you can attempt to rest during the night, but it won't be a proper rest. I'll say due to the nature of it, you could probably get away with with probably only 2 watches and benefit from effectively a full rest, provided nothing happens during the day.
Do we have any idea how far north our destination is?
Currently, no.
No. We just
You
You
did
just
a-
know that it's somewhere in the mountains, possibly, and the mountain ridge, from what you can see, is quite a distance away, but it's difficult to tell with all the rain and the wind and the mist still hanging in the air.
In fairness, if we had a map, we could probably plan a rough trajectory, because we knew it was northeast from the town and north from here. But I mean, we took 1 day to get here, so.
And then you spent half a day sleeping, effectively.
but distance travelled took a day to get here. So if it was dead northeast from the town, then in theory it should be around about a day north.
Okay, well, in that case, we'll travel as far as we can. If it starts getting dark and we find somewhere that would be a good place to camp out, we can see what we want to do. How much scouting can Jeff do?
Looks at wind. How wind?
As it currently stands, the wind is quite high. Jeff can try, but he may need to make some checks.
Okay, I can use him. Every time I go to use Jeff, I will be holding my own action, so to say, to snap my fingers for him to come back to me if
In the event something
anything
goes
goes
wrong.
slightly awry.
Okay. With that in mind, go ahead and roll me a perception check. I will say start with a strength check for Jeff, and then we'll move on to perception checks from there on in.
Jeff.
Just because we'll see how many times you have to pull Jeff back in the time when you're doing this. If anybody else wishes to keep watch during this time, you may go ahead and do so, and someone make me a survival check just to see exactly where you may be going.
I'll make an argument for a dex check.
Right, I'll be keeping an eye
Versus
out.
wind? No.
Oh, Jeff's got -4 to strength.
Oh, that's alright.
It's 8.
Just as an 8, okay. Jeff finds it difficult to fly in this wind. There are several times you have to recall him back as the moment he takes off. Sometimes you even recall him back and then you have to recall him back again because he wasn't quite on your shoulder. He's finding it difficult in this instance to properly maintain flight patterns. So I'll say go ahead and make me a perception check with disadvantage for Jeff. Who's making the survival check?
Has it got to be with disadvantage or just straight as he has advantage normally?
I'll say it's a flat roll, but I'll increase the DC just because he can't really take off.
Fair. Let's say +3.
If nobody else will make the survival check, I guess I can.
18.
Oh, my apologies. I didn't even think. If you wish to go for it, then go for it, please.
Yeah. And Vinny, what did you get?
Not
what did you
good,
roll for?
unfortunately. It was an 8 on that perception.
On the perception? Looking around, unfortunately, with the rain and everything battering down on you, it's hard to really see anything around you, but we'll have to see how that goes. As for Romulus, go ahead and make me a survival check. And then somebody go ahead and make me a 2D... No. You are moving into... no, you're not quite in wilderness dangerous territory yet. So go ahead and roll me 2d12. Someone,
That is
please.
13, unfortunately.
13? Okay. You don't seem to lose your way. You can tell which way north is roughly, despite the weather, but it's not great. So you're okay for the most part. But the perception of your party ain't that great. But Jeff, surprisingly, is doing okay at keeping a general eye and surveying the surroundings and notifying you of various bits and pieces. What did you get there, Kay?
Sorry, I just had to go rescue the cat.
16 is
total.
that?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me 2d8, please. And due to the nature of this will be made slightly better.
8.
Ooh, good. Okay. Over the course of the day, with the nature of the weather and not necessarily in the erratic nature of how it is, but the weather and the wind patterns in this area begin to subside a little bit as the heavier rain leads more to a kind of subtle rain in the local area. It's easier to see, the mist has laid low a bit more, and you can see the surroundings a bit better, helping with the perception check. Your travel is also relatively improved, and you do find a good location to camp for the night as night begins to settle in.
Cool.
Want to camp out
Then we're
here?
gonna do about everything we wanted. Yes.
We don't know
Camp-
how much further we would be traveling if we...
No, I'll say,
Stop
given
now.
the travel that you've had today being fairly successful and finding a good place to camp, you find a sufficient spot that you're able to look over a bit more. You're in a currently you're in a section of small wooded area, kind of a cluster of trees, thicker heather around here, providing good cover from the light weather that's currently in progress and the prying eyes that might look around. You scout the area, it seems safe enough. And I'll say that you can tell that you're about a day or so's travel from the edge of wherever the mountain may be, but if you're in the right spot, that's another matter. You can't see any clear signs of anything in the distance currently. If the weather improves overnight, however, or during the next day, you might be able to get some clear views of something. I'll have to see.
Okay, well, if they're much further out, then they would have difficulty travelling back and forth to the road to actually target people, right? They wouldn't want their hideout to be too far from where
No.
they're attacking.
It's got to be nearby.
Possibly.
Would make logical sense.
So you moved into that day. You're now still on that day, and that's the day. That's the next day that you're on. Okay. Cool. Yeah. From what you can tell,
missed the start of the festival, by the way.
The tomorrow day after you finish your long rest will be the 11th. It's happening on the 14th. So if you were to get there within the next day, if you were to then deal with it in a single day overnight, you could then walk back. And I believe you were mentioned that if you solved this, you'd be able to get teleported to the Wizard Festival via the House Mage. So that would be a possibility should you manage to get it done overnight when you arrive next time. But we'll have to see what plans you make when it gets there. Okay.
We're gonna be wrestling, right?
Yep.
Alright. I will be sending out my rats because rats are normally nocturnal anyways. They are going to be scouting the area. Not far enough to where they can be able to make it back to me by the time it's daytime, and see if they can find where these people are camped out at. Or they're
Due
based.
to the nature and the connection of your rats, they aren't able to go further than 90 feet out from you.
Oh.
Just because of the nature of your psionic connection to them. If they go further than the 90 feet, then you lose control of them and they have freedom to run away.
Okay.
Never mind then, I'm just gonna go to bed.
What's the weather like? Like, in regards to wind now?
It's lighter. It's much lighter winds now, kind of a gentle rain.
Okay, so it's dark, but very not. Now I'm going to wait until it gets quite dark. Then I'm going to try and redo the thing with Jeff, looking for any light on the horizon.
Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead and make me a perception check. Jeff, during the day, didn't see any lights on the horizon or anything. It was too bright, despite the dark nature and
for it to be pitch black outside.
Yeah. So I'll say, go ahead and make me a perception check with Jeff, and we will begin watches at this point. I think would be a good point. So, is there anybody who wants to be in particular watches during this time? 16. Okay. Noted.
I don't mind taking a watch. I don't mind who I take it with.
Who wants to take first watch?
Sure.
Curve might be a bit restless, so she's happy to take first. Or second if Ket wanted to talk to Romulus more.
I think it's probably a good thing to have other people interact with other people. So this is from a slightly metagaming perspective. I would like to not have a one with Kat at this point in time.
Yeah,
Does anybody want
one with Vinny? In fairness, I really had one with Vinny.
I could have one with Curve.
Sure, you can
Just sort of hang out.
Yeah. And then Kay gets babysitting duty then.
Yeah, well, he's good with that because of the rats. Because the rats can take care of looking after Corsair and making sure he doesn't do anything stupid. Because they get to go in shifts. They get like 200 watches over the course of a night.
Jesus Christ!
And still don't alert us to anything.
Nope. Passive perception of the rats is like 10. They're not that great.
They get 200 watches, but all of them are staring at the same weed.
No, they observe everything with like military efficiency. They just don't tell us about any of it.
Oh my goodness. So, okay. Over the course of your watches, okay, I know where the possible encounter may be. Is there anything you're doing while you are here in the tree line? Because you're setting up tents, I'm going to assume. Are you setting up anything else? Campfire or anything like that for anything?
I don't think we should do a fire because it might give us away.
How? It's dark and rainy and windy, right?
Yes, currently, yeah. Yeah, so
Okay.
you'll all have, even those with dark vision will still have disadvantage on the perception checks.
Should mean that smoke would have limited visibility, though, if we can hide the light.
Okay, then how about we recreate our little kiln thing that the oven?
Yeah, you can do that. Keep in mind that your light, the light won't then produce enough to prevent the disadvantage with your dark vision. It will just allow you to see color in the darkness. You'll still have the disadvantage though. So if you were just looking to undo the disadvantage, you'd need to have a bright light that's extending out to the area around. But that's up to you.
Well, we do not want to get ambushed again.
True. But then, if we put a light in, they have got watches, lookouts. We could potentially give ourselves away. We're closer to the camp than we were last time.
Out of
Yeah.
curiosity,
Mhm.
I was just wondering, is the train the same as it was before?
Is it the time that they came through before?
Is the terrain the same as before?
Oh, not this time, no. You're in a little wooded area. There's heathland further out, but you've got more shrubs kind of densely packed in this little woodland area.
So there are trees.
There are trees currently.
I'm in a tree.
You're going to sleep in a tree or you're watching in a tree?
I'm gonna sleep in the tree.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I'm gonna be watching from the tree.
I'm
The
going to say
trees here are relatively tall, so we're talking maybe 20, 25 feet up. So it's up to you if you would like to still.
I mean, with my acrobatics, it shouldn't be that hard to climb the tree, right?
No, it's not necessarily the climbing, it's the coming back down. Because it'd be
mean-
difficult terrain climbing back down, and if you jump, you're going to take damage. It's up to you.
Should be okay
Okay.
for that. It's a better vantage to see if anything, since it's trees, it's a better vantage to see from a higher view than anything else.
Okay. And that will be on your last watch for that. So, what was the verdict on the fire?
I'd say we probably go for the dimmer one. I can't imagine they're patrolling this area that thoroughly, unless we've accidentally parked right on top of them.
Okay. Okay, so creating the lighter or the dimmer one, sorry, for the purposes of cooking
Yeah,
and providing a small amount of heat so that way you don't have to worry about starting anything larger up in the morning. You otherwise set that up. So, if anybody wishes to take a quick break, now would be the time to do so. Do you want to take a break there and then carry on when with Curve or Cat and Vinny when we get back?
Sure thing.
that would make sense. Yeah, I'm gonna go get a drink quickly.
Okay. Take a quick 5-minute break just to go and grab drinks and stuff. And when we return, we will carry on with Cat and Vinny. And obviously use this time to plan if you wish. Be back in a moment.
I'm back.
I'm back.
Hello.
Yes, I am back. So, have we got a cat here as well?
Doesn't sound like it.
Nope. Aha! We have a cat returning. Or maybe just
Yes.
cat.
I am
I
back.
love
Okay.
that baby.
I have tea and cheese
Ooh.
and pickles.
I have a
Ooh.
chocolate donut, fizzy drink,
Fair.
and a bag of Werther's Originals.
Oh, for God's sake. Forgot about that. Huh.
Okay. So, during your first watch, as the rain is otherwise petering down, the wind gently blowing through the area, not intense weather by any means, but still weather.
Well, I mean, it'd be worse. But I feel I do owe you a sort of explanation. I can't go into too much detail, but there was an accident some time ago, and I am not completely me. The arm is actually alive, and it's
Okay.
a constant battle to who's in control, me or him, apparently. Cychania is the key to keeping it sealed, but my issue with these creatures is like the rat god in the sewer that we met,
Mhm.
the Rat King. They are also part of this.
So are they different,
I think they're bits
like,
that escaped.
pieces of the same thing?
Yeah, I think so. But for reasons I don't understand, it has a hatred towards them. And I think I do too, because it's done a lot of harm. So,
That's not it influencing you in some way, is it?
no, but a lot of people close to me got hurt. A lot of people.
Okay.
So,
Do you know what it
do I know what it
wants,
is?
ultimately?
I have no idea. All I know is that it's got a lot of souls and some very powerful ones as well. I don't know what it wants, what its goal is, what its purpose is. All I've experienced from it is hate and death.
Okay. Well, thank you for telling me. I know it's a lot you've been dealing with.
But to start with, I wasn't too sure. Romulus knows, but I didn't want to tell anyone else. But as you're going to be travelling and we're now a party, and this is becoming more frequent, I figured I should probably let the party know.
So, so there's likely to be more black goo monsters then.
Well, if them forward scouts are enough to go off of, I think this entire camp is them.
So their strange, enigmatic leader isn't going to have an arm like that, are they?
Or it could just be this. Like, the rat that we met in the dungeon, or in the sewer, had a fragment of this. All I can imagine is the rat bit me and got infected, and all of that chaos ensued. I don't know if maybe another bit escaped. I mean, we didn't capture the bit from the sewer. That escaped. So, on the scale of what's coming, I couldn't tell you. This thing could be small, this thing could be big. If it's big, we could all be in very big trouble. Very big trouble. But
Do you think he'll understand more when we find it?
I possibly. I don't know. I mean, from that little experiment that I tried with the dwarf, I believe that Sychania can seal this creature. The problem is, Sychania is also helping me keep control of the creature that's in me. So, if Sychania is sealing something else, she's not protecting me anymore.
So you'd be on your own. How did Sychenia come about?
That's something we'll go in later on.
Fair enough. I was just wondering if you could make another Sychania.
No, she's made of living metal from what I know, and she was sealing the creature. I let it out.
Okay, well. I assume there's a story there, but I'm not gonna push you for it.
Just sees cats crying. Yeah, maybe later.
Okay, I'll put a
It's
hand on
horrible,
his shoulder.
right? This rain?
You know, there are worse things than rain.
Yeah. Pigmen!
Oh, did I tell you about the Apocalypse Death Zone near where I grew up?
What? No! Apocalypse what?
Yeah, something big blew up near where I live on the coast. The whole place is like, I don't even know what it's like. But everything that goes there dies.
Something
So cheer up, it could be worse.
Yeah, things could just explode.
You know, it actually wasn't so bad. As long as you didn't go right into the middle of it. It wasn't too deadly. We used to use it to hide. Because, you know, guards aren't going to risk the flesh dissolving off of their bodies over some stolen property.
Where did you come from? That sounds horrible.
It's a normal city. There's just an exclusion zone nearby. Just don't go into the death zone. It clues in the name, really.
Fair. I mean, Chris, think. Cat knows about the crashed ship in the forest, right? Or
In the jungle, yeah.
Yeah. We had something almost like that near, well, where we were. In the jungle, there was, during the war, from what I've gleaned, a ship crashed and, well, it made a messy area that is very dangerous.
Oh, so you can make a history check if you want to try and get the name of it.
Sure. Why not?
And I'll say, Vinny, you will know the name, but we'll just see if Cat.
+7. Okay,
Oh
26.
yeah, 26. The specific place is known as Zaro's Scar.
That's it.
And yes, this is indeed the same crash site that you used to use as your hideout, Vinny.
Yeah, but there was a place called Zero's Scar that...
Yeah, that's the one.
Oh,
So you know it then.
you were near it?
Yeah, I grew up in Hammerwind. Not like near, but only a certain ways travel. And that up there is where we used to work.
Oh my god. Huh. Oh wow. Wow, you weren't too far from me. That's crazy. I've been there once.
Yeah, that is weird. Ah. Maybe we met and didn't know.
Possibly. Possibly. Huh. Man, it's crazy. It's a very small world.
Okay, I just don't want to go overboard. That's why it's small.
Touche.
It's also not that small when you look at it. It's just the travel times between cities is quite reasonable.
Mm. Huh. Wow. There you go.
Mm.
But yeah, wow. I didn't realise you could go near it. I thought it was dangerous, very dangerous.
Oh, it is. If you go like right into it, but for that reason, people give it a wider berth than they need to.
Oh. Fair.
Yeah, perfectly safe. I assume. I mean,
I mean, you're here
that was
still.
years ago, and we did it all the time, and I'm not dead yet, so it's probably fine.
First, Quaglod dies of old age. Vinny dies of radiation sickness.
You can get like another year into this campaign. But, oh, by the way, Vinny had cancer the whole time.
Oh
Take
no!
10d10
Nah.
necrotic damage.
It's fine. Greater Restoration is gone.
Hey,
He'll be fine.
Can any of us learn Greater Restoration?
No, but you can learn a rune that does the same effect.
Oh yeah, fair. Okay. Time to get learning runes.
Yeah.
Cool it.
Yeah. I believe it's a strong cleanse rune, but I could be wrong.
Oh,
So.
no, actually, it's a really good point. It is.
Yeah, so technically you could try and make it now if you wanted to, but anyway. Then
Could
no,
I
it's not
learn
gonna
how
happen.
to punch the evil out of people?
I would say after 6 levels in Monk you get Essence Strike, yes, but I'm gonna say this is no.
That seems like quite the multi-class.
No more multi-classing for Romulus. 3 in Barbarian, 3 in Fighter,
3 in
and then
Monk,
6 in Monk.
Ugh.
Next you're going to be taking a few in Sorcerer just so you can cast spells.
Don't tempt me.
Even though your Charisma's your dump stat. Anyway. If only there were a con caster, it would be so
Oh,
broken.
I definitely go
That's
druid.
so stupid.
So,
That makes sense.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
So, does...
it was nice talking to you. I haven't really had the chance.
Yeah, we've been extremely busy recently. Except for house arrest, but we still had stuff going on.
It's true. It is true. Well, it's good. Do you ever wonder what happened to, like, Damien and Lloyd? And how they're getting on?
I assume Damien's doing okay. He went back home a bit. I mean, we're not exactly subtle people, so he'll be able to find us, no trouble.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I want to learn sending. So I can just send him a message. Make sure he's okay.
I don't know about Lloyd. I hope he's doing okay.
I've still got some of the extract of Lloyd in my pouch. It feels a bit weird carrying this round.
What?
You know, when
Yeah,
Lloyd
yeah,
was
the
bleeding from his
extract?
eyes.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh,
Harvested
okay.
Lloyd here.
Okay, that's a different. Okay, different fluids you're harvesting. Fair enough.
Okay, well, we should probably head to bed soon. And...
Probably.
Okay.
I take it we haven't really seen much.
No,
Watch.
during your watch, nothing's really caught your attention. Jeff got what? Sorry, he got a
he got a 16.
16. Okay. Jeff during the night doesn't necessarily see any light. Nothing really catches his attention, but he's still keeping a vigilant eye as the night goes on.
Okay.
Okay. So second watch as you pass over to Curve and Romulus.
Well, all is quiet on the western front.
And how are you holding up?
Well, my ward is accidentally murdering people.
Oh, you must be very proud then.
Well, I'd much prefer it be on purpose.
Hmm. She'll get there. She'll get there.
Maybe. How about yourself? How are you holding up?
Oh, you know me. I'm always fine.
Do I know that about you? I don't think I do know that about you.
You do now.
Well, this is true. We are, I'm concerned that we're in a position where things are only going to get more and more difficult as time goes on. The further we get away from wherever that goose came through, the harder it's going to be to find. The longer time goes on, the harder it's going to be for Kat to deal with whatever plaguing her. Vinny's memory being weird. Well, I feel like that's definitely something that is better the quicker you get round to it. And whatever Kay's here for, I can't imagine it'll be helped by large stretches of time. What I'm getting at is I'm just a little bit worried, is all.
Me too. But I know I'll last even less time away from you guys.
I think that's the nicest thing you've actually ever said to me.
You give me food. I can appreciate that.
Fair enough.
And it's nice going into a fight knowing you've got backup.
I can understand that, yes.
And hey, if it takes far too long for me to get this goose, then I might really need some backup.
Yes, I don't think we ever quite established. What happens if you don't get the goose?
Well, he wasn't very clear, but I don't think he'd be very happy. And he is where my family is.
Right.
So I've no idea. Maybe he's all bark and no bite, But
When we say he here, do you mean the ruler of wherever you're from?
he wishes he was the ruler. But he's a lord. and he pretty much owns the farm that we live on and get our livelihood from, you know?
Hmm.
So I have no real choice but to do my darn bestest. But that is proving more and more difficult by the day. I am not the only one with problems, it seems.
Well, I suppose the hope is that each of us will assist the other in solving each of our individual problems.
I don't know if I've been that much of a help.
Well, punching the guy after we just healed him wasn't that great. But other than that, I think you've been pretty solid.
Hmm.
I mean, uh, my whole... What I was taught to do, what I was raised to do, was look after people, take care of them. And I've tried my hardest to live by that, to adhere to that principle. But it gets difficult.
My
I don't
whole
feel like I've been doing a good job.
Sorry, Robles. You
Sorry.
keep going. You were having a dramatic pause, I understand.
Thank you. I don't feel like I've been doing a great job at it.
Well, she's not dead yet.
Not just Cat. All of you.
Well, we're not dead yet.
Not yet. Let's just hope we can keep it that way.
You're very strong, Romulus, but there are some crazy, inexplainable powers out there. None of us can face alone.
Hmm.
Don't put so much pressure on yourself. It's weird.
I'm afraid not putting pressure on myself isn't really an option anymore. I think I know of a way to help out Cat if we can get a hold of a few things. But it's going to drastically lessen the amount of time I had before I'm going to end up facing up against the what I'm here for.
What kind of force are you up against?
Well, I'm up against family.
Ouch.
A family that are, some of them are stronger than I am, some of them are faster than I am, some of them are smarter than I am, most of them are smarter than I am. Most of them are richer than I am also. And almost all of them have been training for this for years. Maybe not precisely this, but something similar. Meanwhile, I grew up looking after a tribe, or learning to look after a tribe. Sometimes it feels like the deck's stacked in their favor.
So you're like an underdog.
Sure, something like that.
I'm something of an underdog myself. I also have many siblings, and they all seem to be amazing at something.
Yeah.
None of them have been to this realm, and none of your siblings have been through what you are going through.
Mm.
You have unique wisdom. Like me.
I suppose I do. Here's here's hoping we both come out the other side, the winners. Okay?
Two underdogs.
Two underdogs.
What are we drinking, by the way?
I would have made a nice bit of warmed juice with perhaps a slug of whatever alcohol we have.
Oh, a slug.
A full slug.
Maybe just a dram then, or a shot.
Shots with Romulus. I'm down.
Shots.
That's copyright. That's copyright.
Yes.
Everybody.
Shops.
Yeah, we said
Shops. Yes, shops. Of course,
We
of
just
course.
love-
Let's all go to the bar. That one definitely isn't under copyright.
Either way.
I suppose we actually need to roll for.
Yeah. Go
Yeah,
ahead and both roll me
probably.
perception and curve. Also roll me a d12, please.
Oh, okay.
Percepciones.
Because of the dim light, you're both rolling the perception with disadvantage, by the
Oh,
way.
okay.
Even though you have dark vision, it just means you can still see, and it's not pitch black.
Is that both of us or?
Yeah. That's both of you disadvantage with the
That's a 6 on perception.
what's your plus to perception?
Oh shoot, sorry. I
That's all right.
forgot that was a thing. 2.
2. So 8 on you and Romulus.
At disadvantage, that is a 15.
15. Okay. Noted.
And the d12 is 9.
It is
I don't like it when he says noted. Makes me feel like he's planning something.
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me 2d8, please, Kurt.
Okay.
Or we could not.
That's not how it works.
That's a total of 4.
Okay.
These are low. I hope that's okay. Did we just lose sense?
Did we? Oh yeah, sure we did.
Oh, rip.
He'll be back, I'm sure.
There we are.
Nah, he's returned.
Praise be.
Sorry.
He has returned.
I had nothing to say, so it moved me to AFK.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
Oh,
So,
you need to-
Curve and
yeah,
Romulus.
okay.
As the two of you are otherwise on watch, having this conversation, kind of it coming to a little bit of a close, you hear the sound of cawing nearby, like a crow's caw.
Oh, fudge.
Oh, sorry. Do you need to get that?
I don't know if I want to.
Do you want me to get it?
When your friend answers the phone when your drunk friend answers the phone to your boss.
I grab the. Is it a raven or a crow?
It's just a crow up in one of the trees cawing at the moment.
Okay. I leap up and grab it out of the fucking air.
Okay, it's 25 feet up. That's a feat of strength right there, jumping 25 feet.
That, I don't know if that's outside of possibility for me, considering my jump height and my reach.
It's equal to half your jump height, or half your jump height. Sorry, is equal to half of your strength score. So I believe you can jump up to 10 feet. I believe at a bunny jump, I think it is, but still.
Yeah.
Either way, it's quite a ways up. You otherwise know that you can both look up and see it. The crow is otherwise cawing, as otherwise pecks on the wood and then caws a little bit more.
Unfortunately, stupid physics and rules won't let me 18-foot vertical leap up there and grab it. So I think you're going to have to do the thing.
What's the thing?
I don't know, some weird magic bullshit.
I just shout hello at the crow.
You shout hello.
Mhm.
Okay.
Let's just imagine Jeff is currently up in the tree, just watching this.
Jeff is
unfold.
currently up in the tree, and as Jeff is otherwise looking out, there is a shout of hello, to which you watch as the crow otherwise kind of swiftly turns its head towards Curve and just kind of pecks the wood violently. Jeff, with his perception check from the vantage point, sees a small light not far from your camp further out. What looks to be travelling parallel to your camp's location. With the shout of hello, you are unsure as to if it will continue on its path or maybe travel towards you.
Okay, well, if it does start coming towards me, I'd definitely.
Jeff
wake
wakes
me
you up at this
yeah.
point with a mental note, yeah. I'll say Jeff probably in the emergency of this wakes you up early.
Okay, then I'll take note and let the people outside the tent know, and then go back to bed. Tell Jeff to let me know.
Okay,
Change
so
his
you
direction.
peek your head outside of the tent.
Hey, there's something out there.
It's only Romulus.
No, a light.
A light. The sun.
No, there's people or creatures travelling.
Okay.
It's moving parallel to us, so just to let you know, then I'll point in the rough direction. Then let Jeff know if they start coming our direction. Wake me up again. I'll go back to bed.
Okay. Jeff sends you a message immediately that the light has shifted its trajectory.
What way?
Closer to you.
Poke my head back out. It's coming closer to us.
Okay.
How close is it? I'm gonna look through Jeff's eyes.
Looking through Jeff's eyes and looking out, make me a perception check.
Okay. Is this a flat roll?
This would be a flat roll, yeah, because the advantage from Jeff, disadvantage from from the darkness.
That is a 20.
20. Looking out through Jeff's eyes, you can see a small light off in the distance, which you watch as it's kind of this dark orangish glow, held up in the moment as it seems to be walking from the direction you've come and continually going, but it's moving closer, kind of coming towards you to a certain degree now, leaning off to one side. You can make out, with that high perception roll, what looks to be about 9-10 figures.
Okay, I'll relay this to the party. Okay, so there's
You can
9 or
see,
10 of
I'll
them,
say you can see 2 larger ones among them.
Okay, there's 9 or 10, 2 big ones, and they are coming from where we were, this direction roughly. They're kind of, yeah, they're changing. So, they might stumble across us, they might not, but they're out there, and there's more than last time.
Are we certain that they're bastards?
I can only see what I could see, and I can see silhouettes in an orange light. I know that there are 2 larger things now. I mean, for where we are and what's going on around here, I'm gonna put the odds in. It's probably bad guys.
All right then.
Is the crow
Well,
trying to get
what?
our attention?
Make me an insight check.
An insight, sorry.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
What if it's
disadvantage
just a
or-
normal bird?
Is that just normal or disadvantage?
It's just a normal wisdom check or insight check. Sorry.
Gods, I currently have.
It's just a dumb bird.
Can I do a check on the bird? See, I mean, I think Curve is obsessed with this bird. Is this like a normal bird, or am I getting familiar vibes from this thing?
Make me a nature check. I'll say, given you're trying to identify the bird. Just a
Nature.
single roll.
Okay. Okay, that's 24.
It is a crow. It should be asleep at this hour.
It's just trying to warn us of some danger coming along, which would be very helpful. Thank you, Lord of Crows.
You know what? I'm too tired for this. But I know Vinny can talk to these things.
To what things?
Animals.
Yes, so can I.
Well, yeah, but they
I tried
respond.
saying hello to it.
Yeah, but he hasn't like actual conversations with them, and they respond to him.
You saying
He-
animals don't like me?
No,
I'm just saying
Ca-
you
say-
seem to have.
he can understand
Yeah.
animals as though they were speaking the common tongue.
Yeah, Curve can do the same.
Then why did you just yell at it?
Yeah, I said, I shouted, I yelled hello, and it doesn't seem to want to have a conversation.
And it angrily pecked the wood.
Yeah.
This is a weird crow.
Mm.
It's rude. It thinks it's a woodpecker.
And it's nighttime. It's not an owl. Crow, why are you awake?
It's either threatening me, or it's warning us of something.
Well, if it's warning us of these things that are making their way to us, apparently. If it's threatening you, you've upset a bird.
I've upset all the crows. Okay.
The crow says back, which you can hear, Curve.
Mhm.
Yes, I'm trying to warn you.
See,
I want to keep the crow.
I don't know what your crow problem is, but you and this crow seem to have a thing. I don't understand what it is. But if it talks to you, great.
It just it's trying to warn us. So are we going to run, or are we going to get ready for an attack?
I
You
would
can help us.
recommend hiding.
Well, then let's hide.
How did you hear that? Sorry. It's telling us to hide.
Oh, well, then I'd suggest hiding.
Okay, what's the train like around here? And I'm gonna wake Vinny up.
It's wooded. It's wooded in pretty much all directions. There's kind of thick brush nearby at the edge of the woodlands, so you've got some cover as it currently stands. But if anything were to walk through those bushes, they'd see your camp quite obviously.
Okay, I'm gonna go in the tent and wake Vinny up delicately, because cat does. And I'm gonna get Jeff to peck Kay on the mask, because who else can reach him up in the tree?
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Tonk,
he's
tonk.
hiding up there. He's fine.
Yeah.
Dwarves can't look up.
What about pigs?
That is a filthy stereotype, I'll have you know.
Pigs just wish they can fly.
Damn. Okay, so I'll wake Vinny up, let him know, and I can't communicate through Jeff, so Jeff is waking Kay up, and I hope Kay comes down.
Okay, he's just gonna think it's time for his watch.
Oh, okay, cool. Then, if that's the case, I'll get Jeff to gesture towards the direction they're coming from. Maybe he'll be able to work it out.
Yeah, I'll say you can vaguely see a group of individuals walking in your general direction, but you can't make out their details. It's a large group, though.
We need to hide. Or run.
Hide is seeming more appropriate given that the
How?
bird told us to.
How easily
So-
can we hide the fire?
Well, that, I can just collapse it, the earth on top of it, and that should
Yeah.
just stuff it out.
You can cast mold earth and it will snuff it out. or if you leave something substantially opaque on the top, it will blot it out as well. It's not a strong fire, if that's what you're getting. It's like lightly smouldering, so you can make food in the morning if you need to.
Okay.
It's like a little mini kiln, so to say.
Yeah. If you pour dirt over it, is that going to hide?
I'm literally gonna just sort of snap my fingers from my hand long and basically mound over this and almost pseudo suck the thing into the ground.
Okay. Right.
There, fire no longer a thing.
What do we have in terms of hiding places?
We have trees.
You have trees that you could potentially climb up. You have shrubs nearby that you could try and kind of hide within. You were collapsing the tents as well, you said, or
Well,
or was it just the fire pit? You said.
Well, I'll be taking out the fire pit because I don't want to damage the tents by mold earth in the tents. So I'm assuming the party will help try and deconstruct stuff.
Yeah, I mean it's mainly just knocking out the top pole and then kicking stuff over top of it to make it look covered.
Okay.
I'll say
Okay.
Corsair's doing the same.
Yeah, I'll help with that.
Yeah, Corsair will kind of look around. We going in the trees or the bushes?
What is my big ass body gonna fit in? Because I ain't getting up no tree.
Chris.
Mhm.
Question. Disguise self. Could I disguise myself as a really big bush?
Okay, so it does have to be humanoid, but ghillie suits are a thing.
Ghillie suits are a thing. I would say
Big enough for perhaps some people to hide behind as well.
I'll say, given that because it automatically upcasts as a warlock, I'll allow it if you want to. You can turn into a humanoid-shaped bush.
It's a little bit suspicious.
On its own, yeah, hiding in a bush, that blends in like a ghillie suit does. Whereas, I'll say, Cat, in your instance, the trees will take your weight. It's just a matter of getting up there. The bushes, you could, but you'll be prone, which means if you are found and they roll a higher initiative, that is advantage on a lot of attacks.
Okay, what about alter self? Could I go similar to Curve?
And camouflage yourself? Yeah. Casting alter self to camouflage yourself would work, yeah.
I shall do that. I will cast alter self to cast a
Okay.
Konoha.
Corsair is going to otherwise pull out a dagger and is going to begin to attempt to climb one of the trees.
Okay, I'm probably going to try and climb as well.
Yeah, Corsair begins to kind of climb the tree using a dagger and what looks to be just kind of a simple hook in one hand, just kind of pulling himself up.
I think my best bet is also going into the trees, because I believe I got my grappling hook fixed. So.
Hang on.
So you get to make an athletics check with advantage.
Which
Vinny,
for me is pretty great.
Yeah, Vinny, if you wish to take your time, you can do. However, you'll make your stealth check with disadvantage. Or you can rush it, having to roll for the athletics check, but then having the stealth check with advantage. Kay, same goes for you.
How sheer does the tree look?
It's a completely vertical tree. There aren't really that many lower branches, so. I'll give you inspiration because you rolled double natural 20.
Thank you.
I'm already
I'll
in
say-
the tree, so I only need to hide.
Didn't you jump down for your watch?
No, I was taking the watch in the tree.
Yeah, he was.
Oh, okay. So you're still up there then. Okay.
Yeah. So I just need to hide.
Okay.
Is there
So
any
you just
more
need to-
room in the trees?
Yeah, there are plenty of trees around. You can climb the trees, and then if you wanted to disguise self, you could. If you wanted to disguise self in the bushes nearby, you could. And Cat, where do you want to alter self?
I'm gonna go and find a bush that's kind of like, or a nook that's kind of tucked where, maybe between a rock and tree or two bits of tree or something. Something where they won't try and brush through.
Okay. So somewhere a little bit more obscured, but not necessarily hidden necessarily, or directionally
Exactly. So
hidden?
it's somewhere where they're less likely to go, oh, I'm going to
Okay.
try and walk through that.
Okay, so you go over to somewhere like that. Easy enough to find in this area, so you cast Alter Self. Go ahead and roll me the wild magic for that. I'll say if there isn't a combat, this won't interrupt your long rest, but
Okay.
just noting this.
10, we're good.
You're fine. Okay. And Curve, where were you going to try and hide?
I am going to simply try and hide in a tree, because I think otherwise I'll be using a spell slot, and I might want to keep those if there is a combat.
Oh,
So you're climbing normally?
Yes.
Okay, so make me an athletics check. If you're trying to rush, if you're not going to rush, then you just make the stealth check without advantage.
I'm hiding Jeff in my hood too.
Are other people
Okay.
rushing?
Is it advantage if we rush or disadvantage if we don't? Sorry.
If you don't rush,
Yeah.
you automatically succeed and you make it to the top of the tree. The
Mhm.
problem then becomes that you then make a flat stealth check. If you rush, you
Okay.
have to make a single check, but then you have advantage on the stealth check. So if you're worse at stealth, you're going to want the advantage, but if you're worse at athletics, then you're going to want to just get to the top of the tree. And if you're the same in both, then use whatever resources or cleverness you might have at your disposal.
Yeah, I'm gonna rush and roll the athletics.
Okay, go ahead. Okay. You rush and make it to the top, so that will give you advantage on your stealth when you get there. And Romulus, you
Nice.
have the same. Kay, you have the same. And Curve, you going to
I'm
rush or take your time?
Stealth. So, am I taking long? It would be better to take longer. Was that it? Sorry.
Did you want the advantage on stealth or no?
No, because it's higher. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so in which case then, you take your time climbing the tree, otherwise making it to the top, and then you will get a single roll for stealth. And Cat, you get advantage as well. So, everybody please roll for stealth. I will do the same with Corsair. Romulus, something I will note about your inspiration, just because it happened from 2 natural 20s, because that's a very low chance, you can dole this inspiration out to anybody who may need it.
Okie dokie.
I need
So-
it. I've got 5.
You gotta roll first, Romulus. You still gotta make your stealth check.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, fuck you. Am I making mine with disadvantage?
With
or is it
advantage.
I thought
Advantage
we
because
had
you rushed.
a real heart-to-heart there. You know, we're bros now.
If I get another 20, I'll give inspiration.
Oh, we've got to see what everybody rolls first.
Ah, sorry, it's
Okay,
only whatever
so,
that is. Yeah, no, I'll
um,
throw this thing over if necessary.
stealth. Okay, so Curve, you get to re-roll. And you get to choose either the 3 or the other roll, whichever your second roll will be.
It came and went so soon.
Oh,
Pick up and drop. Pick up and drop. It's the try and true test. There we go. 7. Okay, so stealth checks across the board. What did you get, Romulus?
Altogether, I believe that totals a 16.
Okay, that's 1 success. Vinny?
14.
14, another success. Okay,
20.
20, third success. Curve?
9.
That's 1 failure. And Cat?
18.
18. Sorry, Corsair with a 9 is a second failure. So
That's
4
bad.
successes to 2
I
failures.
was wrong with a advantage, right?
Yeah, you were wrong with
Yeah.
advantage because you cast Alter Self. Yeah. So, as a number of you clamber up the tree, otherwise holding your own up there, otherwise hiding the tent, the pop-up tent, I'll say not pop-up at the moment, otherwise covered with leaves and bits, casting mold earth to cover the fire, erasing your traces from down below. You clamber up the trees. Cat, you mold to look like a bit of tree using Alter Self. The rest of you watchers walking through the brush, you see two of these large pig folk, or the pig creatures, the belly butchers, wandering through as they kind of walk through and sniff the air around you, or around where you were, kind of holding their cleavers and hooks, kind of as they look around, just eyeing the area around them. As you see, beside them, walking with them, are 8 dwarves. Two of them, you note, seem to be carrying what looks to be lanterns with them, which they otherwise hold up, illuminating the area around. Kind of getting a look at the area which was around here. And you note that the other 6, for those of you with a keen perception here, so that would be... actually, in this instance, I'll ask Cat and Kay to make me these rolls, as they would have had the time to make perception checks given their methods. Okay. This is just going to be a regular roll given the close proximity and the fact they're carrying lanterns to illuminate their faces.
Okay. I mean, I'll be looking through
Jeff. Oh yes, you'd have advantage here on for Jeff's check.
That 20 plus
Natural 20.
3.
Okay. And Kay? What did you get, Kay?
7.
7. Looking down at the individuals, you can see they seem to be 8 dwarves, 2 of them carrying lanterns. Not really too much else. The other 3 seem to be carrying what look to be simple daggers from the looks of it. Not the brawler types that you saw before. Cat, you note on the other hand that of the dwarves that are walking here, 6 of them or 3 of them in this instance, the 2 sets of 3, sorry, look identical to one another, as if 2 sets of triplets. You see that they're otherwise carrying daggers at their side, and they're otherwise looking around, and they've drawn their weapons and are currently just kind of looking around cautiously. A few of them kind of look up, but not really seeing all that much, as they're wandering through this particular section of this. Yeah, none of you would understand the language, as you can hear them kind of muttering and talking to one another as they just kind of mention a few things. There's a little bit of a squeal and further sniffs from the larger creatures.
I know that there's literally no sign when I cast a spell through Psychania, is there?
No.
Okay, I'm going to cast Detect Thoughts through Psychania.
Okay. Casting Detect Thoughts. From this distance as to where you are, you can pick up on a few of their thoughts. But a lot of their thoughts are muddled for the... actually, I'll ask, who do you target for this?
I'm going to start with target one lot of the triplets.
Okay. You hear the same voice repeated 3 times at different pitches, as they all kind of speak murmuredly. I'll say make me an insight check to otherwise try and interpret what it is they're saying or thinking, as it's all very muddled. It's like having too much reverb on.
That's 10.
Okay, 10. You otherwise pick up... They might have come through here. We need to keep ourselves vigilant after what they did. You swap to another one. Who did you swap to next?
One of the... Actually, out of curiosity, the pig guy, do they have a thought?
Switching to the pig, they use very simple words, simple emotions, as you get the thought of carve, hunt, kill. There's a lot of simple words and almost instinctual thoughts.
Okay. Alright. And just a general cat check. How is everything to do with cat at the moment?
You feel okay. You don't feel too tense right now.
Okay. Right. Nothing's freaking
I
out.
assume you're making sure to mark the charges that you're using for your detect thoughts off,
I am,
because you have
yeah.
to charge them manually.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I've been leftover slots that I've got.
Okay. There's a moment where you watch as one of the dwarves who's carrying the lantern sets it down and kind of shifts a bit aside, revealing the tent that's there. Kind of places their hand on the top of it.
I'm gonna
Pulls
focus
it.
on him.
Okay. You focus on that one, and you hear the thoughts of, they've been here recently. They can't have gotten far from here. They might know we're coming. There's a moment of pause in that as they're otherwise looking around. As that happens, Curve, as you're otherwise looking to try and get a better view, you shift, and a bit of branch snaps underneath your weight. Immediately, one of the triplets, they all kind of look up in unison as the crow flies off nearby. And they all follow the crow as otherwise disappears off. As they just begin to kind of kick dirt and say a few things back at the others. You hear, through detect thoughts, Cat. We should get going. We'll have to travel through the night. As then it says something out in a language you don't understand, and you watch as they all begin to move out and off. You wait a little while for them to pass. They don't return. And eventually you feel safe enough to come out from your hiding spots.
That was tense. Apparently.
No, we took down the tents.
They found the tent.
Oh, we didn't. I'm glad they didn't hurt the tents.
No, they didn't. But they apparently they don't have much time, and they're gonna have to travel through the night. They're going somewhere. They're finding us, or they're hunting for us. But they have
They
not
need
much
to.
time. They're on a time constraint. Now, as it stands, what do we do? Should we follow at a distance, or shall we keep going the path we were going? Where are they going? Are they going northwards direction?
Looks like it. The trajectory you were going.
So, they're in a rush to try and find us. They're heading in the direction that we believe the camp is.
Is the crow just gone?
The crow has flown off, yeah.
Aww. I hope he's a returning character. Wink, wink.
We'll have to find out, won't we?
Comes back
He had
comes
a
make
fun
him-
voice.
Might make him an arsehole.
No.
So, what do you guys
He was
think?
Most most animals sound the same, don't worry. Okay, so
What
were you saying?
is in a day's travel? Or a night's travel, I suppose.
Well, maybe they're
From now, about 3-4 hours. Yeah.
So
Given
what-
you had
what-
the little bit of the early rest before, you can technically finish off your long rest in about an hour or two. So a little bit earlier than normal.
Is it worth
Um,
chasing after them, do you think? Or
How?
If they're heading towards the camp, they could lead us straight to it, instead of us fumbling and falling into a potential trap.
Are they likely to be leaving very heavy tracks?
Given the larger figures, quite possibly. Given the nature of the heathland, it will be. Given the ground will be quite spongy because of the heathland, it's not necessarily going to leave an obvious trail where they're going, but there will potentially be the possibility for a check. It will just be more difficult the longer you leave the tracks.
I mean, we're not.
Okay.
This is. We do face the risk of
Death.
being tired, but yesterday's travelling didn't tap us in any way.
if we chase after them now, we're pretty much in full fighting form.
Mm.
And if we come up behind them, I doubt they'll be expecting it. But we'll need a plan.
Yeah. I think we should pursue them. They potentially are a lead to the camp. And the longer we leave it, the harder it'll be to find them.
No, I'm in.
We've
Okay.
rested a fair chunk anyway, and we got quite a lot of rest in yesterday between most of the night sleep and then sleeping for a good few more hours.
Yes, and I think I'm going to be a lot more
Capable.
useful in the things I can now do.
Ha! You unlocked your runes.
Runes!
Yeah,
So-
last session was a teething session,
Mm,
and Romulus didn't really know how to use them properly. We'll go with that.
you're still
Or
doing
actually,
Yeah.
it was the GM.
But yeah, I think we should pursue.
Let's do it. Dun 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 dun.
Okay, let's grab the tents and stuff
Okay.
and hit the road. I will send Jeff to the top of the tree. Can he locate their torchlight?
As Jeff otherwise kind of goes up to have a look, Jeff looks out. Go ahead and make me a perception check.
Come on, Jeff.
Jeff now. Come
Jeff
on,
has
little
one.
man. I said, Jeff now.
Okay. Natural
Pretty-
20.
Pretty, yeah. Good.
Despite the hooded lanterns facing away that would otherwise hide and obscure the light, Jeff is able to just about make out the cone of light that's being projected in front of them, even though it's in the opposite direction to where... or it's in a manner that you wouldn't be able to easily see it. Jeff is otherwise able to pick up on it, though. With that perception, Jeff also picks up that there are two imps currently flying above and around these individuals, keeping what looks to be a wide perimeter.
Okay. So they are still off in that direction. They're still going in that direction. They have two imp observers. So we will have to give up wide
Imp
berth.
servers, you say?
Observers, yes. Very good. So yeah, we will have to give a wide berth, but they have got a watch party overseeing.
Alright then.
Which I'm gonna go with they're pretty useless because they missed all of you up in the tree.
Hmm.
Creatures that can fly.
It may be worth taking them out first, though.
Oh.
Vinny.
Yeah.
Vinny, I've seen you shoot lasers from your hands and things. Is that a thing you can do against these creatures?
Lasers. I mean, I have
Oh, you know,
lasers.
Weird
I-
magical bullshit.
Can you teach me how to shoot lasers?
I would if I could.
I didn't even know it was possible.
Come on, you know what I'm talking about, like the lasers, the weird energy shit that comes out of you and kills things.
Mm.
Vinny, you're talking about Vinny here, right?
Is that not right?
I've never
Okay.
seen him shoot a laser.
You can you Eldritch Blast, right?
No.
No,
Wait, you can't?
No,
that's
No.
curve.
curve.
Sorry, I got the wrong tiefling.
Wow.
You all-
Let me guess, we all look the same.
Oh god.
No, it's actually so much worse. I
Different
don't.
realms.
No, it's so much worse. You all just sound the same to me, and I just don't care enough about any of you to really pay attention.
I thought we had a heart to heart.
I'll be honest, I thought I was talking to Vinny the entire time. No, joke, no. Apologies. I keep thinking that Vinny's a fucking warlock. Because, no offense, Vinny gives off such warlock energy.
I'm a bard.
Yeah, and bards are just, like, even more annoying warlocks.
Yeah, granted, I'm a bard that doesn't know. Fuck, what's the spell called?
Charm person?
No, the cantrip that every bard picks.
Vicious mockery.
Prestidigitation?
Vicious
Oh,
mockery.
vicious mockery.
Yeah. So I guess that.
If you're a bard and you don't
Broken
pick vicious
block.
mockery, are you even really a bard?
No, you're a warlock. Wannabe.
Yeah. Anyhow, so can you do the laser blasts?
I don't know if I want to now.
I really want to say some fucked up things to carry the joke on, but I'd feel bad. Well, so my plan is this: the people that can shoot things at range shoot the things at range.
I can do
Then we, the melee characters, come up behind them and beat the crap out of them through phenomenal stealth checks. He said, hopefully, and with unwarranted confidence.
Okay, well,
So the plan is we slaughter them. Get on. Yeah, sure.
Does anyone have anything AoE in nature?
Yes.
It may be. I think you should aim that for the group of them and try and do as much damage at once as possible.
Pumps energy into a rune.
Does Cloud of Daggers count as AoE?
It's a single tile, unfortunately. So
Aye.
not
A single
Particularly,
tile.
no.
I see. My bad.
that's right.
Let's go.
Hmm.
No, I will
Got
just
three charges
Eldritch
on their
Blast
rune.
them into hell.
I will say, I can only save someone one time if an attack's coming for you. So, you better hope I pick the right one.
That's okay. That's okay. We...
Corsair otherwise looks over and says, I will say, if we are going to fight them, does somebody have a way to create light? Because I currently can't see all that well.
once we
I'm
get
not going
into
to be of
melee,
much
I'll
use.
cast Fairy Fire.
Okay.
That should do it.
I will say I'm also not the quietest.
Okay.
Unfortunately, he
Well,
is
we'll see
wearing
what we can do.
medium armor, which is giving him disadvantage on stealth.
Looks at who? Yeah, I struggle with tiptoeing too.
Why don't we just leave you behind?
I mean, do you want to face them without me? I mean, I'm on this because I have something to gain from this all. I thought
mean,
the
the
reason you
numbers are
came along was
already-
to help.
Oh, that's them. That's not me.
Okay. Well, let's pursue. I mean, I've got
Yeah, we'll see what we
magic
find.
missile, which has got a long range, and I've got 3 charges on my rune. Let's go.
I've got my bow in case we need a backup.
Mhm. Okay.
If we can get the drop on them, we should have a good chance.
Excellent. Okay. Then let's get in hot pursuit.
Okay.
I like to imagine like some epic war music playing. in
Gathering
concert.
up your things and ending the long rest, which you no longer gain. You push on to follow the individuals who are otherwise leading the way to the camp, supposedly. You otherwise proceed to keep a distance for a little while before trying to get closer to initiate your plan. What are the steps that people are taking here?
Okay. So, what people have got the longest ranges? 2 imps. I've got 3 elemental detonations that I can fire off.
Pretty spicy. My range consists of some hand axes. And I guess I've got I did I sell the Bector Corbin in the end, or
No, you were going to exchange it afterwards.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
still
I'm
in
gonna
your
exchange
inventory.
So yeah, and I've got a Bector Corbin that gives me a 15-foot range if I want.
Okay.
I can become giant, so that might, or rather large. So that might, well, large, but in fact huge in terms of statistical reason.
Grappling. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So I can certainly scare the shit out of things.
Okay, right. Who can take out the imps? If I recall rightly, they're very low. They're very easy to hit.
Yeah, they do not have high HP.
I've got a short bow with a decent range. It's not a guaranteed thing, but the imps are squishy, so I should be okay.
Okay. Because if I can get away with not having to take out the imps, I can just target straight into the party of them.
I don't have any range, but I can attack from the trees if I can see them before they see me. The imps, I mean.
How high up are the imps flying? Or will
The
they fly?
imps are probably maybe 40 or so feet in the air. They aren't like super high in the air, but the party that you'd be following are now on Heathland. You've left the woods behind, so you have no height advantage.
Oh, there's no.
Yeah, it's back to the Heathland now and traveling along that.
Well, there goes that plan, so somebody else is going to do it.
I mean, I can infinitely Eldritch Blast them.
Okay. So if we leave Curve and Vinny to try and take out the imps, and I will just constantly elemental detonation the group. And then as they get close, Romulus will just slap them all.
I'll...
Vinny, because Vinny's very Curve, because Curve's very good at slapping.
Oh, when
Yeah,
you're
once they
going
get
to
in
let me-
range, I'll fairy fire them.
Cool. Okay. Right. Then, shall we go?
Let's do it.
Alright. We are engaging
Okay.
pursuit.
Okay. I would like everyone to begin by rolling a stealth check for me, please.
Is there any chance in this
Oops.
strange world that I could argue,
This one.
could I get advantage because I did a lot of hunting in forests?
No, because you're in Heathland
Yeah, we're in
currently.
Heathland after.
It was
And
what.
the
Look,
only person who gets advantage is I saw that one roll and then it re-rolled there.
Yeah, I don't
The
know
only
why it
person who
was-
gets advantage is Cat.
Really?
Your alter self's still up.
Oh yeah. Cool.
Yeah, so you can just change the color of yourself.
Sweet. Well, I didn't need anyway. I've got 15, 16.
I mean, I guess
Okay.
it's a good thing that Kay wasn't actually part of any of the plans anyway, so.
So are
natural
you-
is fine.
Are you joining in with this guy?
I mean, I guess I just don't know what my role in this would be. So, I mean,
I
I'm
would have.
there.
I was imagining sneak up and stab things.
Yeah, apparently that's not happening.
If you want us to sneak up and stab things, it's what do you
no,
choose to
I
do?
mean,
No,
I
he
mean-
rolled a
I
natural
mean,
one.
I rolled a nat one on
Oh.
stealth.
That's fine. I
So-
did not roll great either.
Romulus, what did you get?
Well,
I got 7, which is better
Okay.
than a nat 1.
Vinny?
15.
15. Natural 1 on K. Curve?
14.
14. Cat?
16.
Okay, and 11 on Corsair. So, as you are traveling up to get within range, there is a moment where, as you're otherwise moving up, K moving a little bit ahead to kind of get a little bit more of a sneak on them. There is a moment where one of the imps otherwise circles over the top and then stops and looks down. You immediately watch as your plan is sprung into motion. I'll say Curve, you making 2 Eldritch Blast attacks, one each imp. Go ahead and make the attack rolls for me. You watch as one of the dwarves turns around with a lantern, illuminating K entirely. Okay, natural 20. Go ahead and roll your 2d12 for that first hit.
Pop like
Okay.
confetti.
You watch as one of those imps is popped and just scatters off to the air behind it with what looks to be this almost swarm of crow's feathers with a head and beak at the front, which puncture through it, splitting it into pieces. Then go ahead and make your second attack with your Eldritch Blast. This will just be with one of the D12s because it wasn't a.
Oh, my bad.
No, that's all right. We take the left one, so
Okay.
8. So 8 damage, and that does hit because they haven't got that high AC. As the 8 damage hits it, you see it does significant damage, but the imp is still ever so slightly up. Unfortunately, it has 1 health left. And Vinny, you would be making an attack with disadvantage if you're using the short bow here, because the range is just outside of it, given the unless the short bow's got a 90-foot base range.
80, unfortunately.
80. So yeah, in this case, you'd be making it with disadvantage, I'm afraid.
Okay.
Come on, just one hit.
Yeah,
11 is the AC.
Oh!
As you fire the arrow, as the light otherwise catches in your eyes, you shoot the arrow off as it otherwise whistles off in another direction, and you very much feel the short bowstring snap. Unfortunately.
Holy shit.
Right. How high in the air is that last imp compared to the party of them?
It's 90 feet away from the rest of you.
No, from them.
It's
His party.
50 feet.
50 feet. Okay, that's not really gonna be something. Okay.
Yeah,
Well-
50 feet in the air. As it looks back, you see the light otherwise illuminate Kay and the rest of you. As we'll move into combat, I suppose.
Well, I mean, I'll be firing off my elemental detonation as
Detonation?
they were firing theirs. We're all
Yeah,
doing it at
so
the same
go
time.
So we will. I think now we'll take hold of the initiative order for this sort of thing. Because all of that, it was poising the spring of the attack, and we'll move into rolling the elemental destination at the beginning because you'll need to place it accordingly.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay, so
I
party.
should note, I can't really stay very late tonight.
No, that's fine.
I'm probably going to be top of the initiative. Let's be honest. Not,
What did
not
you get?
proposed. I haven't rolled yet. But it's my mod has been high.
Okay, well I got a 19, so I hope you roll a 2.
It's possible.
Hey, let's get these guys ready.
What's your modifier, huh?
It's +9, so 19. Friend.
You definitely have a
Aha!
higher dex, right?
I am top of the initiative.
Uh-huh.
Direct.
Okay, so we have 2 of these guys fair distance up. They would be here and here. One with the lantern will be here. This one will be here.
Oh, these
And
guys
then-
didn't have finished art last time, did they?
No, they didn't. Why did you just call them out like that?
Oh, so that's what that's supposed to look like. Oh.
Yep. Okay. As this combat will begin. And we won't go on long because we'll have to see.
Mhm.
So, Kat, go ahead and place where your elemental destination is going to go off. And then I would like you to roll for wild magic while I quickly select the music. Let's see. What would be
Pokemon battle theme.
I don't know. I'm not allowed to use that.
Okay, which one?
That's fair.
All of them laid over each other.
Exactly.
Oh wow, that sounds beautiful.
Are we allowed to suggest more music that you can't use? Because I do have a few fun ones.
No.
Just like right at the start, it's super synchronized, like and then it's just chaos.
I will be right back, but in case it comes up, I have a 6 in initiative, so I'll probably be quite later on. Yeah, me.
Okay, so, yep. So 25 to 20?
20.
20. 20 to 19.
19.
19, yeah.
19. Okay. 15 to 10. Or I should just say cat
12.
at this point.
Yeah.
12. Okay. Corsair got a 19. Well done, Corsair. Corsair has a +2 to his dex mod. As the
Do you
same as
have
Ronius
Mr.
is,
Rami?
so he'll go afterwards.
Okay, so.
He'll go after Ronius. Okay. Right, now for me to roll for this slot. We'll only do one round of combat, and then I think we'll stop because obviously it will be getting late.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Kay is at the top of the initiative for now. Just while I'm organising the initiative order here. Romulus goes there, and then Curve goes at the bottom. Okay, so to begin with, we have both of the belly butchers. Okay. Belly 1 goes there. Belly 2 goes there. Voices. Classic. Okay. Welcome back. And then I roll for the other ones. Okay. Man, 19 is a busy initiative order.
Yeah, damn right it is.
Woo!
Now, I just to check, are they
Okay.
wearing pig faces or?
No, that is their literal face.
Okay, just checking, because the eyes are quite blank, and I was like, they could just be wearing a skin mask.
No. So, Cat, your elemental destination goes off. So, what is the DC I got to make?
16. And
Okay,
damage is
we'll
25, so.
Okay, so what damage type is it? What's
It
the
is
most
lightning.
prominent number? Okay, and that's from the 4, I take it?
Yep.
Okay. Don't think that matters particularly here. Not currently, no. Okay. So, Belly Butcher 1, this is what kind of save, sorry?
Dex.
Dex versus DC
16.
16. Green Belly Butcher saves. Red Belly Butcher also succeeds. Green Voice, natural 20. Red Voice, split me. Total of 18, succeeds. Blue guy fails, and then the other one fails. So, that's a good turn. So, that was how much? 25 damage?
25, yeah.
Okay. You watch in that instance as you otherwise snap your fingers, a ball of crystal rising and exploding into shards that scatter the area. These four up here, even though they're closer to the epicenter in this instance, you watch as they otherwise only take very little damage from this. As they each take 12 on the red one and the green one. The 2 voices also take 12 damage. And go ahead and roll your wild magic.
Right, yep.
And I'll get to the other ones in a mo.
No, we're good.
You're good? Okay. And as your elemental detonation goes off, shards of crystal and lightning, as they crackle around the area, stick into these 2, and you watch as the lightning change to this one, as all 3 of these fall to the ground dead. As in their place, you watch as their armor melts away, revealing what look to be this is placeholder art. This is what your the next one in the commission before your tablet broke is a mirror fiend. What you can see is a pale white skin as they otherwise fall to the ground, the armor falling loosely as they collapse onto the ground, all 3 of them dead, including the one outside of your area.
Nanny the fuck?
Okay. So, top of the initiative order. Kay, you are going first.
Alright. This terrain, it's literally just flat. There's like no grass or anything.
No, it's just heathland. There's maybe a couple of bushes in the area, but not much else.
So it'll be impossible to hide.
Correct. Yeah.
Well, I'm just gonna take a couple steps forward, and I'm just going to I'm going to go into take the dodge action.
You take the dodge action. Okay. After you, there is a moment of talk and chatter, and they are going to take the dash action and then bonus action dash.
Oh, wow.
So they're going to go 90 feet, and they are going to sprint away northward,
Oh, no.
while you watch as
Okay.
the others turn towards you and begin to ready themselves for more of a combat stance. Okay, that ends their turn. Vinny, you'll go.
Right, how close can I get? Far out of my...
No, I'm not playing that. It's copyright.
Yeah, if I bonus action dash, I'm still not going to make it. So instead, from this distance, I'm going to cast Fairy Fire.
Fairy fire, okay.
They'll be
See
lit
if
up
this might be
if
a
they're
better one.
affected.
Okay, what's the
This is
area of fairy fire? It's a
It's a 40-foot, no, not foot, 20-foot cube,
20-foot cube, so a 4x4.
60-foot range. Yes.
So you can place that in such a oh no, wrong button. You can place that in such a fashion that it would catch all of these three effectively, or all of these three. Your choice.
Yeah. Let's go for the left one, I guess.
Okay. What save is that?
Dexterity.
Okay, green one. What's the DC?
My DC is 15.
Okay. Belly Butcher succeeds. Voice doesn't. Other voice doesn't. I will mark them.
Okay, and I'm concentrating on that.
Yep. Okay. As you're concentrating on that, you otherwise cast your hand out in that moment, kind of drawing your scimitars off one another, and as the tiny sparks scatter out to the wind, they almost float forward in a light blue coloration before sticking to the ones in front of you. Okay.
Mhm.
Is that the end of your go?
Yes, so those ones, the two that are affected and the entire area that was affected are all like faintly outlined in purple.
Yep.
And giving off
Okay.
dim light.
Okay.
They can't be visible.
Romulus.
Anyone that attacks them has advantage.
Romulus, you're up.
Okay, so those ones are dead. Those ones ran away.
Yep, they ran, dashed, and then bonus action dashed.
Sorry, where the fuck are these dwarves getting bonus action dashes? Jesus Christ.
They aren't dwarves.
Oh, well, those. Sorry,
Yeah,
the art threw me off. Which one are they?
They're more mirror fiends. By the looks of it, the fact that they are triplets is they all have to be identical. And in this instance, the three of them running in unison and just keeping step, they can move 90 feet around if
Jesus.
they spend their whole turn doing it. Same thing as Vinny.
If you kill one, I think they all die.
Maybe it's a shared hit
I
point
can't-
pool type thing.
Seems like it, yeah.
Yeah, I can't. I can keep up with that, but I can't overtake.
I can do. What is it? How much movement have I got? 40.
You can do 70 in a round due to your... Oh no, 80 in a
I can
round
do
due to
80 in a
your...
round, and then I've
Yeah,
got
but
a
then
range of
you-
120.
True, but you wouldn't have your action. You'd have to spend your action to dash
Exactly.
to move 80.
Yeah.
I.
I'll get back on.
The most I could do is a dash with 70 and then an action surge, which does not feel great. How close up can I get to these individuals?
Well, what's your movement speed? 35? 5,
35.
10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Up to here.
Okay, so let's go up to here first of all.
Yep.
In terms of range, I've not got a good range option, so the only reasonable thing for me to do is to get closer. Just a check. Checking something. Yeah, I am going to use the dash action. Is it possible to chain that into a horn attack bonus action, or is that only if I attack first?
No, the attack. You would be able to, but you have to then be in melee range with them. You can get up to here.
Oh,
It
shit.
doesn't give you the additional movement.
What if I use the Vector Corbin?
That wouldn't be a horn attack.
Ah, yes. What if I strapped the Vector Corbin to my
To
horn?
my horns. No, unfortunately not.
Okay. So that's a bonus action. Do I have anything that's a bonus action here? Yeah. It's a bit risky if I go for a rage, because obviously they might just not attack me.
Too happy.
I mean, it's unlikely, but you know.
I want evil music. There you go, let's do
Right.
this.
Okay. In that case, the only real option I have is I'm gonna Giant Smite.
Okay.
I get big.
Okay, you going big this way, this way? What square are you going into?
If possible, I'd like to use it to get closer to them.
Okay.
Oh wait, sorry. Is that a bad thing that I shouldn't do?
I'm not going to be firing off another elemental detonation if I get a
Okay.
charge.
Then I'm going to stay right where I am, over here.
Okay, so you grow larger doing that.
Yeah.
Okay. End of your go. It'll be Corsair's go. Corsair's going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And he is going to dash to try and keep up with you because he wants to transport you as much as he can. That's as close as he can get.
Oh, it's gonna feel real bad when we have to kill him later.
Okay. Now it is now Belly Butcher 1's go. Followed by Belly Butcher 2's go.
Of course it is.
Okay. This one is going to go 5, 10, 15, 20. It's going to go here. And is going to make... Again, this is too nice. I need a... Give me a nasty one. Necropolis? That
enjoy
sounds like
the
fun.
merry little
No.
ditty.
No, we don't get merry. Fog of War. That sounds possible. That sounds possible. Alright. I don't want to just use the same ones over and over again, but I might have to at this point. Because I don't remember any of the other combat names. Alright. The Belly Butcher, as it has moved up into your range, is going to make one attack with its cleaver versus you and one versus Corsair.
Okie dokie.
The one attack versus you is a 12 to hit. That doesn't hit.
Does not hit.
The one versus Corsair is a 16 to hit. That does not hit Corsair's AC, which is 17.
Thank you, Corsair.
So that one does nothing. And then this one is going to move up to here and is going to make 2 attacks with its cleaver versus you. First one misses on an 11 to hit, and the next one is a 17 to hit. Does that hit?
Hit me? A 17?
Yes.
17 on me? Yes,
Yes.
that hits.
Okay, and it's going to pump a punishment point into this because it has been dealt damage. Meaning that you take... Okay. Not the greatest roll on the bonus damage, but good roll otherwise. You take 15 points of slashing damage and 1 point of necrotic damage.
So 16 total.
16 total, yes. As the cleaver otherwise carves through a portion of you, cutting off a little bit of fur. As it does so, the both of the belly butchers otherwise squeal in that motion as that takes place. Next in the initiative order, Cat, you are up. And Curve, you will be up next.
Radius here.
God, I hope they're wearing something under those aprons. Yeah, that's doable.
Yeah, that would hit.
That'll
Or-
fucking do it.
Or
Don't get me in it.
okay, I'm firing it there, and I am using a shield rune on Romulus.
Okay.
What?
So that means that they take the damage
They
and you
take the
gain
damage
temporary
and
hit
he
points.
gets temporary hit points equivalent to the damage.
Oh.
Rune magic's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just gotta play
Okay.
it carefully.
Yes, you do. Yeah, because you're burning through a lot of your spell points.
Yeah, the only reason I'm doing this is because this is using my rune medallion that I made.
Oh, because it's
I
your
pumped the energy. I got
you
three
you
charges.
pump and you got 3 charges. Okay, so yeah, go ahead and roll damage. Damage type is 5.
Damage type is 5. Elemental detonation is 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5. That is thunder.
Thunder, okay. That does not impact this encounter. Darn, you've got like plenty of other damage types to hit, and you're just hitting the ones that do nothing. No positive, no negative effects. Okay. Alright, so, how much damage is that total?
That is in total
32.
32.
Ooh,
So Romus has
nice.
got 32 temp hit points, and they took
Holy shit.
whatever.
Yeah, they'll last till next short rest.
Yeah,
However, the shield rune, because it's a 3rd level, that costs...
that's cost 3 spell points.
Yeah, so that's the equivalent of a 2nd level spell Cat's just spent for
Yeah.
that effect.
Hey, look,
Which granted
32
is-
hit points for 2. That's decent.
Well, yeah,
I
but
know
if
it's
I
good,
cast a
but-
normal spell and didn't do it through my rune, that would have cost me 8 spell points.
Damn.
That would cost you 8, which is the equivalent of a 6th level spell.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Alright, so saving throws on each of them, starting with green, DC 16 dex
Yep.
save. Nope, Belly Butcher fails. Other Belly Butcher just fails. Voices, guys, green voices succeed. The other one does not. So that was 32 damage?
Yep.
Okay. As this goes off, both of the Belly Butchers fail, putting them down very nicely. As you otherwise hit them, they otherwise squeal out in pain. As this happens, both gaining a punishment point. And then the voices, the red one was the one that failed, wasn't it?
Red one failed, green one succeeded.
Okay, red one is dead, green one is on death's door. As the thunder damage echoes throughout the area, you watch as this one's head otherwise begins to bleed from the sides. If you wish to go overboard, you can characteristically say it explodes, but I'll leave that up to you.
Woo! Confetti! More exploding. Let's go.
More blood confetti.
I just don't like
okay.
dwarf
More
heads.
crimes.
Yeah. Curve.
No,
It
they
is-
attacked us first. This isn't technically a crime.
Bring
No,
me the
not technically.
dwarf
You attack
heads.
this particular group. You attacked
Actually,
first.
Yeah,
They're the same group. It's self-defense. Now, what Cat did by crushing that guy's skull, that is, in multiple senses, a war crime.
Well, that can be a problem for another day. So, Cat, you obviously still have your movement if you wish to move. Is there anything you should do for your bonus action?
My bonus action, I do literally nothing, but I am going to move
5, 10,
15, 20, 25.
35, 40. So up to this line here, if you wanted to. Okay. Okay. And Curve, it is now your go.
Okay, would it be possible for me to move somewhere like this way?
So that would have been
And-
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So to this tile here.
The furthest?
Yep. And then if you wish to spend your action to dash, you can, but then you won't have your action to do any of your main magical spells or attacks.
Okay, my Eldritch Blast is 120 feet. Do I reach?
25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55. Yeah. You're definitely within range of these three that are currently up. However, you are not within range of these guys over here, as they are about 150 feet away.
Right.
And very much within darkness, so they're very difficult to see right now.
I'm wondering if I can do an Eldritch Blast on both of these like a pig skewer.
If you want to, go ahead and make me 2 attack rolls. 1 versus green, 1 versus red. Oh, it's just the...
Oh, my
It'll be
bad.
the 2d20s, but you can keep the damage. So the first hit is what, sorry?
8. Oh,
8 plus...
Sorry. Charisma. 8 plus 7.
8 plus 7. Hits, and then the second d20. Don't worry about re-rolling the damage. We can keep the damage for those. And second one also hits. Okay, so that first one takes 12 points of force damage as you fire out this long skewer that otherwise shoots through the air, covered in these tiny raven's feathers. As it shoots through, it strikes straight through one and into the other, leaving boring a thin black hole through both of them. As they both take the damage from each of those rolls, and both of them gain a punishment point.
Good job, Romulus has got that temp hit points.
He's going to need it. All right, on to the voices. It's this guy's turn. He's going to back up 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And he is going to cast, backing away from anybody who might have counterspell. He is going to cast. Yeah, let's go with that. Romulus, please roll me a Constitution saving throw, please. I think it's Constitution for this.
Who is casting this on me precisely?
This guy.
I got that. Okay, noted,
Okay,
noted,
yep.
noted.
Constitution saving throw. DC 14 is what you're trying to beat. I know this is a long shot, but
Hey, look, if it works, it works. You know.
if it works, this is going to potentially be a big swinging point.
Oh, I think I'm good.
As you begin, the individuals, they otherwise kind of step back, they lift their hand, and you watch as these cursed runes begin to run up their hand as they try to reach out. You feel the magic almost creeping into the periphery of your eyes before you kind of shake your head, shaking off a blindness spell.
You know what? Fair. That would have been a little uncomfortable.
Yeah, it was very much a risk, but at the end of the day, if that succeeded, that would have been disadvantage on all your attacks and advantage against all hits to you. Yeah, with that failing, yeah, okay, then that will actually no. I get to make an attack with the familiar against Romulus. No, it misses, as all of the imps have done so far. As the imp otherwise swings down, doing a flyby against you, but ultimately failing to steal anything from your inventory or your hands.
Stupid imp.
Okay, that one's dead, so I can remove that one from the initiative order. Okay. Okay, and given that we are past the stopping time, I think now, and we're back at the top of the initiative, that would be a good time to stop there. I know it's mid-combat, but Simon has to go, and I'm pretty sure we know where this is going after the next session. We just have to see how many numbers get hit and what happens.
Yeah.
So, for the stream, thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed, and we look forward to seeing you next week. We are doing a session next week, guys. Everyone's able to make it?
Yeah.
I'm not going to be there, but if everyone else is, you can go on without me.
Okay.
I should be able to make it.
We might make it next week. We'll have to see. Yeah, I'm just thinking it is the last Sunday of the month, so I could take it off. But was anybody going to have issues with making the 3rd, the week after?
No, I
Jamie,
should be
you?
around. For
I
that.
don't think I will.
Jamie, you had
with
Comic-Con coming up, didn't you?
Yeah, that's October.
Oh, that's a while away.
With my new job, things are a little less clear because it'll depend on how the previous days work or what I have to do on Monday for Sundays. But it shouldn't be a problem as long as things aren't really wild.
Okay. We will say that we may run a session next week, but if for one reason or another someone else can't make it, or for one reason or another someone's not feeling up for it, we will not hold a session next week, but we will the week after, provided we have enough people for it. So, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and we will see you next time when they fight more demons. All right. Bye-bye.